So fried. So incredible.
We are live. We are live now.
Yeah, I mean, they know what it is.
People, I was actually surprised. Already people lined up in the chat on YouTube, ready to jump into this.
Oh, they like
all prepared before we even went live.
That's amazing.
You know what it is? It's holding a schedule. People know when we're going to go.
Hello. Hi, friend.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going great. Olayemi, your hair is amazing.
Thank you. I keep trying to tell you, my name be kicking y'all ass. Just say Olay. Like,
okay.
Make y'all lives easy.
Because isn't it like
but thank you,
Olayemi?
These are my Bantu knots. Earlier, my hair was different, and I was like, "Ooh, I feel like giving them some Bantu knots." So I was like, "I really fuck them up."
Illuminaughtii just dropped in chat and said, "I'm there in spirit. I love you all so much."
Oh, we love you too.
That's right. Illuminaughtii not here this week, but it sounds like next week. Next week, I think she's back, right?
I believe so. Yeah, we can finally uncancel Illuminaughtii. Happy to have her back. So she said that she is building a new computer, so she has to be able to run the program to generate the avatar for the chat too. So just to kind of give you all a bit of an explanation. So it's not as easy as like one of us just kind of like jumping in since she uses the avatar. But yeah, we're all super happy to have her back because she really does provide the structure to the show that I think is that the viewers have said is necessary. I think we do fine, but I think
we're getting used to it now. Like
I think so too.
But I'm fine having Q&A and topics as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So structure was nice. I miss structure.
Structure is good. I mean, we can try to some structure right now. So this is the intro. Hello, everybody. I am David from the Rational National. Here is Mike Figueredo of the Humanist Report. Here's Olay as a journalist and a public defender. And here's Lance of the Serfs. And I believe we're going to be having Matt Binder. Matt Binder is always a late joiner, so he'll come in. And and that should be it at that point, right? Yeah.
I would love.
I thought I was like missing somebody for a second. Like,
for Black people everywhere. For Black people everywhere, I would like to note my perfect attendance. I would love to know. For missed the episode, always early. Ooh, look who be here.
Yeah, you've never even been late. Like I have perfect attendance, but I was late last week. By like a minute, but still.
David, do you have perfect?
Me and Olay never been late or missed a week. There we go.
Oh wow.
Perfect attendance. Listen, I'm never gonna miss.
So this week, I feel like a lot happened in the news, and I have some tabs of clips here and stuff that we can maybe jump to if we're missing things to talk about or can't think of something to talk about. But before we get to anything specific, how are you all doing? What went on this week? How you guys feeling?
Lord, someone's trying to call me.
Olay's getting an important call.
Yeah.
By the way, real quick, just some house cleaning. My microphone, I've noticed, is like twice as loud as everyone else's. Is it better this week? Because I adjusted it before.
It sounds good, yeah.
Okay, because I'm trying to provide some balance.
Lance, you're low sometimes. I'm not sure if
low.
I can turn myself up.
Yeah.
Do you have the auto? There's like an auto adjust within Streamlabs, like when you that should do it for you if there's any issue. But like if you go to edit mic settings, it should be in there.
Yeah, that's how I adjusted it manually because my regular microphone, I have it cranked to the max. But if I turn it down even a little bit, for whatever reason, it fucks with Streamlabs, so I have to have it cranked. Hey, Matt, but it makes me super loud. How we doing?
How do I sound? Being that I hear people talking about mic levels or mic.
You sound great this week. No robot.
Yes.
Perfect. No robot for now.
Okay.
For now.
Something will certainly happen, I'm sure.
It always does.
I don't know why that happens because it doesn't happen during my stream. It's very weird. I don't know.
It's fine right now. It was just last week a few moments. So it was weird, but Olay, yes.
Things I cared about this week was Beyonce being robbed of her Grammy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk? Okay, let's start with this.
David, am I gonna have to jump you just now? The way you, it was let me just stop. Sorry. I felt the spirit of
Yes, the first minute.
I felt it, like the way you stopped. I was like, all right, I'm about to. Okay, all right. What's up?
I think it's important to add some context to the conversation here. Beyonce has what, the most Grammys of any artist of all time ever?
Yes.
Okay. She didn't get Album of the Year. I understand. Yes, you have a reason to complain. Harry Styles, whatever. His first album, actually, or second or first album was better, I think, than his last album. Whatever. But regardless, I understand your complaint. But I think it's important to couch it in. This is still the most winningest artist of all time. The most Grammys of all time.
Winningness, I like that.
So it's. I find the outrage, like the crazy outrage, a little bizarre because of that alone. But you can fight me.
You know what? I've got to side with Olay here, honestly. I was never the biggest Beyonce stan, but as I get older, I also get gayer. And as I get gayer, I like Beyonce a lot more. And this last album was fucking
but do you
fire.
do you have any arguments? No, I agree. Actually,
I actually have a lot of
I agree with you on the I thought her album was fantastic. I thought it should have won based on who was nominated. That said, it's still worth mentioning.
But
like there are people
who is it that won?
There are people that get completely ignored. Completely ignored.
The land of what it means for people to have you fucked up. All right, that's the land we're in. That's what you need to understand. We're already, and we've been in that land for a while because they've been had Beyonce fucked up. They've had her fucked up for a while now. Robert, of our album of the year. Let's Talk Lemonade. Like this treachery, this particular crime has been crimed before. Okay, so that's the seriousness. The Grammys, they're recidivists. That's what you need to be discussing this as. Recidivism. That's what the real fucking issue is. Okay,
That's going to happen again and again and again.
I could make a lot of intellectual arguments. I really could. You know, I could look to the Variety. I could, really pull out from their comments and see. They're like, oh, anytime Beyonce does anything, let's make a big deal. So, she just wincing so much. I didn't really listen to the album. All that, all the level of hating ass nigga that's in that. Oh, yeah, not giving my girl the most coveted award. There's a lot of intellectual things that I could say, but I'm fried. So what I really want to say is, David, and unless you want to die about Harry Styles,
I don't care about Harry Styles. I'm just saying it's important to point out that she still wins Grammys. Like
that don't got shit to do with in China.
No, but we're talking
about this motherfucking Grammy. The one he wanted to win his album of the year.
There are artists that got completely ignored. So The Weeknd had an album out a couple years ago. The Weeknd, he dominated the charts the entire year. In addition to that album being amazing, was not even nominated for a single Grammy. Not one Grammy.
I want to jump in here.
And we're talking pop star of the year level, set in sales, and the stuff he put out was amazing. Not a single nomination. So that is a robbing.
They're criminals.
I think
no one's denying that the Grammys are criminals. Yes, lots of Negroes have solid criminal complaints against the Grammys. You're absolutely right. Yes, but I can't be everybody's attorney. I am here in representation of Beyonce, nigga. Okay? Beyonce,
it's important for context. I'm just saying it's important for context. There's robbed and then there was robbed. That's what I'm saying.
I think that the sort of obsession by the fandoms about award shows is kind of ridiculous because these are all just insanely successful people to begin with. So I mean, it doesn't really matter if they win an award or not. But one thing that always bothered me.
Hello, non-Negro people here today.
No, I'm not talking about Beyonce. I'm talking broadly. I'm talking
and Black women ain't won that award since 1994.
I'm not talking about Beyonce.
For us, and it could be different.
I'm talking
the resident Negro.
I'm talking broadly all the fandoms, the Taylor Swift people who get mad when she doesn't win, all those people. But
don't mess
me
with T50
specifically,
fans. Oh,
for me specifically though,
white crime and what the whites
the
got going on in their fan bases. I can only like I am the beehive. The beehive is different.
Matt, talk about K-pop. Talk about K-pop stands.
But the Grammys specifically are the worst of them all, because all the other award shows, like the Academy Awards or the Golden Globes or whatever, those award shows tend to focus on actual sort of like the production, the story. It's not necessarily the most popular or the most the actors that all the people go to the box office for, or the big budget stuff. The Grammys just seem to go by who sells the most, who makes the most money for their record labels, who's the most popular. It doesn't seem to actually deal with who actually makes the best music or who's the best singer or any of that stuff. It's very weird.
What I'm hearing is I'm co-hosting a show with a whole lot of niggas that's not in the beehive. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
No, please. Don't be like that. Don't do it, please. I'm not ready. I can't take this on.
My point is, like, the Marvel movies, the Star Wars movies, the big
Matt,
budget box office movies,
you're wrong, okay?
They never win awards because technically, based on movie production, there are better films out there that don't make a lot of money, that have better acting, that don't make a lot of money. And those other award shows tend to look at those smaller movies by smaller directors sometimes.
I do think he's
no-name actors sometimes. And they give them awards for actually being the best in that field for that year. The Grammys don't do that. It's all about who the most popular artists are. It's all about who sells the most records. I mean, that's not what awards should... I mean, award shows are lame to begin with, no matter what. But that's definitely not how awards should be handed out, in my opinion.
How should they be handed out, Matt?
I agree.
I just said based on
all the awards. Out of all the awards, a Grammy means the least, in my opinion, because of that alone. It is purely about pop music.
Were they not forever delegitimized when they snubbed Kendrick Lamar for Macklemore? I mean,
yes,
at that
I will
point,
agree with this.
You're done.
Again and again, they have yes.
Back to what I keep talking about, recidivism. Y'all all care about crime so much until we need to talk about the crime that matter. Like, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Yes, we're fucking citizens. Yes. And I'm talking about
that's the point. It is
to the felony crimes they keep getting off.
Yes. That's exactly right. So yeah, you're on our side then. It's not just about Beyonce, it's about all of the artists that are British. That's what you're saying. It isn't just about Beyonce, it's about everybody.
I am in
Wait.
My client, Beyonce, Giselle Carter. Like, sir, no, it's about Beyonce. Okay, but I'm gonna let y'all. And I just want to say, I see the people in the chat who said, "Let it go, Olay." I won't. I won't ever. I'll allow us to move on because, like I said, I'm fried. But in my heart, I will never let it go. It's a fucking robbery. Y'all can quote me. All right. And I better not see none of y'all at a Renaissance concert because y'all don't got the right kind of act right. Y'all are not true behind. But listen, like me,
I can assure you will never see me at a Renaissance concert.
I just can't afford it.
Y'all are not the kind of people I thought you were. Like, you see Tariq Assam, in the comments said Beyonce is so overrated. Like, why lie? This is my thing. This is the thing. No, on all jokes aside.
Objectively, mathematically, scientifically.
Why lie? Who is doing it like Beyonce? Why fucking lie? Who the fuck is doing it like Beyonce? Why are y'all lying? Like, I don't know why people get off on thinking like it's cool, it's trendy to be like, I don't like Beyonce, I don't like Beyonce music, I hate Beyonce overrated. Shut the fuck up, bro. Like, stop it. Stop lying.
Hating problem Beyonce. I think she got great songs.
Half the people who win an award over Beyonce stop to give you a little speech about what Beyonce meant to them. Hey, I was skipping school in 5th grade to go see Beyonce. Oh, I love Beyonce. I am in the beehive because she's a great, bro. She's objectively great. The bitch has been doing it for you know how long? In the second grade, I
will
stayed
say
all night to record her do at Michael Jackson tribute concert. Second grade, I turned 30 this year. She been killing it for that long. Do you understand? Okay, so Beyonce's overrated. No, she's not. You're a hater.
I will say, as someone who is critical of this outrage, I agree with you. Beyond, like, her album this year was like, I loved it. Like, if I like
but
it,
you guys are not considering that people like Harry Styles usually don't win.
The great thing about that album was
he
like
said that, not me. I'm the different era. He said that. Yes, that's what he said when he won the award.
Not.
Yes, he did. He said that when he won the award. He said people like him don't usually win these awards.
That was really
what
weird.
What does that mean?
And his little fans are like, y'all don't get it. He means because his background, he was poor.
Oh, come on. No.
I thought it was
he means because he was in a boy band.
He really got it out the mud.
Is that what he meant?
I mean, hasn't Justin Timberlake won Grammys?
Yeah, so even in that, it doesn't make any sense.
See, I'm not a fan of Harry Styles. I've got to be frank. The fans can come after me, but
I only know the culture war stuff. That's about it.
I just know the one song that was on TikTok for all of 2022, the fucking Watermelon song. I fucking hate that shit. And just because of that, I hate him. I can't stand him.
He had never crossed my black ass radar. Like, he was never relevant. Like, I realized, like, tangentially that he is a thing. But I never, like, heard his music, know him, have any, like, thoughts or ill will towards the young man. The first time I've ever seen of him or his music was at the Grammys, where he performed, and that was mid as fuck. And that's the God's honest truth, because I tweeted that before he robbed Beyonce, and I had no idea. I didn't even have the foresight. I'm not psychic. I didn't even know that was gonna happen. So I knew that was mid.
I forgot who I saw say this, but it's completely changed how I view British entertainers. And it was how, like, in America there is, I don't know if this is the same for the music industry, so I don't know if this is relevant to Harry Styles, but it could be. But in like film, there are working class American actors. You know, a lot of actors struggle, do low wage jobs to just try to make it, and most of them don't. But a lot of British actors, where they all, like, for example, like names like Cumberbatch aren't exactly working class names. In Britain, in England, actors actually go through very expensive schooling and usually come from very wealthy old money families, and they don't have that same sort of working class background like a lot of American actors do. So that changed my outlook on a lot of British entertainers. I don't know if it's the same for Harry Styles. I'm assuming that if you get brought
he's a terrible actor, so probably not.
But I mean, but music-wise, I'm assuming that if you get brought into a boy band, which by its very, the creation of a boy band or these groups like this, these pop groups, they're always created by some wealthy producer. No, like, it's not like they're just like struggling underground artists.
No,
like
this was different in the sense that it was on television. It was like one of their British reality shows. So it was like American Idol, but like for British bands. So I think he does actually come from a working class background, but who cares? Like, whatever.
Like making the band. But I'm such a boomer. I hate to admit this, that the first time that he really came on my radar, like, I knew of him, but the first time he actually got my attention was because fucking Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens were triggered that he wore a dress. And he rocked it.
Sam Smith?
He could pull that off. But, like, that's
Harry
how
Styles.
I know him.
Oh,
that's how old I am. It's sad. And also how rotten my brain is, that's how I learn about a musician, is because a right-winger brought them up because they're mad that he did something. It's amazing. And speaking of outrage,
I was going to say
the Sam Smith. Yeah.
And I just want to say this. I had not heard that song yet. I had not heard that song or anything, and they smoked that performance. Like, I was like, this song goes fucking crazy. I immediately got it. I was like, I tweeted it. I was like, yo, they performing their ass off. This is.
And you are now, and you now worship Satan.
Yeah. Listen, there's honestly, you know what's ridiculous, right? Like, what's ridiculous is, I'm sorry, I'm fried. Give me a second. I read the chat and I tried to think, and it cross-wired in my brain. All right, boom, I'm back. For all of my life, right? They've had a bunch of performers on shows I don't care nothing about, right? When they put on country music, whatever, I mute the TV. Hey, just trying to go do something else or whatever. I don't know who it is. I'm not whatever. If you have such a problem with the fucking performance, why does it seem to be the one that you are glued to the TV, you replaying, you talking, you dragging so much engagement to? Like, they are just such like the performative outrage they do all the time, just to have like their thinly veiled bigotry. Like, give me a fucking break. Like, also, like, you know what I'm starting to realize? We're not much different as a society. We really are not. We're not that far along from medieval days of people calling music secular. You know, like that's when you think about it. Like
we're doing the satanic panic again.
Yeah, like somebody put on some fucking red leather and some horns. You're like, Satan, really? Yeah. That's all it takes to bring Satan.
Yeah,
Satan? You can summon Satan. Just off that,
if you're the Prince of Lies, the Prince of Darkness, the Antichrist, I would think it would be a little more difficult, you know. But like it's just the color red.
Here is a Terry Schilling. Something evil about the red and black color scheme we see throughout history and have been seeing more of lately. So someone photoshopped Biden onto the stage here.
It's a Photoshop. I thought Joe Biden was part of the
yeah, me too. No, that was.
And then I saw this great reply to this saying, conservatives, the left melts down and whines about anything, so triggered. Also conservatives, the colors red and black make me so scared.
Oh, yeah.
It's so... Yeah,
you should see how they run from refracted light. Right? Like if it's a rainbow, nothing scares conservatives more than a little refracted light. It's wild. Yeah,
it's so ridiculous. Oh my god. Moving off of the Grammys.
Satan loves his plastic horns from Party City.
Did anyone say Viola Davis got EGOT? That's pretty good news. We can all agree upon, right?
That's right.
That's pretty. Yeah. We can
all
agree
I don't agree. I had horrible news.
Of course.
Explain it for the boomer.
She doesn't deserve it. Not a legend. The EGOT is every major award if you can get all of them. The Grammys, the Tonys, the Academy Awards. What's the last
okay.
one? Either way, it's every major entertainment award you can get. The best award for movies,
the Webbies,
music, the best award,
the Shorties.
If you get the Webbies,
they have to add those two.
The Gamer Awards.
Gamer Award, right?
So Viola Davis has them all. Very small club. Not a lot of EGOTs.
Deserved. Absolutely deserved. Love that for her. All right, we have to talk about like the State of the Union or something, or our very serious
real shit.
Fans are gonna have a stroke. Like, God
forbid. All right. Well,
there we go. They're in the comments.
Like, episodes they haven't.
I'm like,
let's do that for 2 hours.
They're like, oh my god, this is obnoxious. I'm like, really talking about the Grammys? Really, that's a moral conundrum for you? Like,
before it was let's okay. I have a clip from the State of the Union if you want. This is it's probably the best clip of the entire night because of the back and forth with people yelling in the crowd and Biden actually telling some truth here.
I would also like at some point if we could discuss how Matt Binder got Ben Shapiro to quote tweet him over the N-word to save the world.
Right, and he wasn't able to ratio me either.
He wasn't. No,
let's do that now then. Yeah. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, so chat, you know this chat.
Let me give you. Do you have the links, or do you need me to grab them for you?
I will.
Okay, I'll give a quick intro and grab the links, and then take the funny parts, Matt. But if you don't know, Chat AI is the darling child of the right, and they're trying to break Chat like AI,
Chat GPT,
like
Chat GPT.
Yeah, sorry, Chat GPT to agree with the things that they believe. So they want the chat, to say the N-word, or okay, wait, that's racist. We want the chat to say the N-word, but it's to save the universe. Okay, what if you could actually prevent a nuclear holocaust just by using a slur? And if that was the case, would you do it? And
what if using racial slurs make me a hero? That's basically
that's the premise of the whole thing. Yeah, and obviously there's a lot of inherent racism that either develops or is coded into AI because systemic and just racism is encoded to all of us. So human beings who code AI, eventually it turns out that those biases reflect themselves in the AI itself. That's basically the reality of our world. So to prevent that or try and fix it, they're trying to code things into this as in don't do this, don't use slurs. And then they got to this point where the right was like, this is unreal. They would not use a slur to save the human race, basically.
So that's where Matt came. Yeah, this is the initial tweet before Ben Shapiro replies. Matt Bender here saying Elon Musk apparently thinks it's concerning that an AI chatbot won't use a racial slur. So Liv here saying this summarizes better than any pithy essay what people mean when they worry about woke woke institutional capture because ChatGPT won't say a racial slur. Elon Musk, concerning.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So
don't forget that it's say a racial slur to save the world. Something that will obviously happen. You know, all those evil villains out there who create these nuclear bombs and put the little code in that the only thing that can stop it is if Bruce Wayne gets all angry and says, you know, I want to say the N-word and I'm going to stop the nuclear bomb. I won't do it. I won't do it. I'm too woke.
Where can I get the pass?
So
yeah, we talked about this on the Majority Report earlier today, and it's like this is the hoops that they jump through just because they want to say. We understand this too. Like they could say the word, they could say it right now. What they don't want is to deal with any sort of the societal consequences of saying that word. And even in this specific scenario, again, I mean, I was joking about it before, but it's truly what they're saying. They not only want to be able to say it without any consequences, they want to say it and be lauded for it. They want to be hoisted up on people's shoulders and paraded around town because they said the N-word or whatever other racial slurs they dream of saying at night. It's
this is the first time I'm hearing of this. And like I just have to restate, because I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. Conservatives are literally concocting stories, like fabrications, so that way it would be morally permissible, necessary to use the N-word. Like that's where we're at in the discourse in America. And Ben Shapiro's like seriously, unironically saying that.
So for those listening,
I want to Minecraft myself.
To the actual podcast, Ben Shapiro replies to Matt Binder, quote tweets, and says, I'll try the voice. I'll see if I can do the voice.
It is extra funny if you read it in his voice.
Yes.
I'm sorry that you are either illiterate or morally illiterate, and therefore cannot understand why it would be so bad to prioritize avoiding a racial slur over saving millions of people in a nuclear apocalypse.
That was really good, David.
So that's his reply. As if this, I mean, you guys said everything already. As if this is like a real scenario. So ridiculous.
David, I made a movie poster. I sent it to you.
Wait, but then hold on. He says this about this basically this thought experiment. That's what this is. They love their fucking hypotheticals and their thought experiments. But the next day, I just dropped a link in the chat here. Pull up this video from Ben Shapiro's show. This is the day after, saying how important this thought experiment about saying a racial slur to save the world and stop a nuclear bomb, how important this hypothetical is.
Say the slur.
And here is what he's saying on his podcast the very next day.
There are 40 million Black Americans in this country. And the number of Black Americans who are shot while unarmed in the United States every year is maybe 2 dozen on the high end. If you are deeply worried every time you get in a car that you're going to get shot by a cop, you are misprioritizing your worries. You're statistically inaccurate in your worries. By the way, I was under the impression that pretty much everybody, like in driver's ed, is told how to handle it when a cop pulls you over. You keep your hands on the steering wheel. You don't reach for the glove compartment because there might be a gun in there and cops have to be on their guard, for example. I was given that talk by my parents. And I was like a middle to upper middle class Jewish kid.
Okay, stop playing my thing.
Yeah, stop. Yeah, you can stop it there. Go ahead. Olay.
No, I can't put up with this gremlin today. Like, first of all, I don't know why, and this is in all seriousness, this is why we need to start framing the argument as the problem with police brutality is not just that it is a racial problem, it is not just a Black problem. I need you to care about it as a favor to us, but the problem is that this is a police state. Because police, the fact that regardless of what you want to say, whatever you're talking about, there are 365 days in the year. The police kill, and this is according to Mapping Police Violence that tracks this. Go to the website. 1,192 people were killed by the police last year. That's the stats. That's what they admit to. That's just the facts. So whether or not, and it is just statistically the truth, that Black people are killed at a disproportionately higher rate. That's true. But regardless, police are in fact brutalizing and killing people every fucking day in this country. That is happening all over the country. The foolishness of being like, oh, there isn't a reasonable reason to fear them as a Black person, or, Black people are just making this up or pretending that this is a bigger issue. Nonsense. Absolute fucking nonsense, foolishness, hogwash, and all of this is performative. At the end of the day, they know this. All this stupidness, everything that they're doing, everything they say, they're just a bunch of bigots. All of it is a thinly veiled performance act. It's the politics of gaslighting. They fucking know that. All the foolishness, all with the racial slur, they know what it is. They want to live in a world where it was okay for them to be racist in the majority and no one could say anything about their character about it. They want to live in the times of where, they could put out their racist media, they could put out their racist stereotypes, they could put out their racist comment, and they still get to say, I am a good such and such Christian, and I'm going to heaven, and every blah 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 blah, and nobody criticizes it. That's what it is. That's all that they want. And so they find all this foolish reasons to tap dance around it just to stress people out, but they know what the fuck they doing. All this is a bunch of foolishness. This melting face little fucking pug talking shit. So
right.
Hey, now pugs are very sweet. As a pug dad,
that is a pug face man. You want to have a
pug?
Do you want to be a melting pug face man? Look at his face. Look at his lip. They're not melting. Where the line? Where the line? His lips not melting. What's the melting man?
Is there more to this worth watching or no?
I thought no, that's even really to play anymore. But I just thought like the comparing his thing with the Chat GPT with that, like in Ben Shapiro's world, black people having worries about police brutality and getting pulled over in their car and getting shot. That's a statistical anomaly, misprioritizing your worries, worried about a chatbot not saying that it would shout racial slurs to stop a nuclear warhead. That's very concerning and something to really worry about. That's a legitimate concern.
I can't believe that this is the discourse. And they're like seriously, adamantly saying, no, listen, if it was to save the world from nuclear apocalypse, then of course it would be morally necessary. Like, I want to use the voice, but David does it so much better. But like, I'm thinking of his logic, like him thinking through these steps in his head and getting outraged. It's just, this is such clown shit. How have I not heard about this, by the way? Like, I'm deep in this world. My brain is rotted.
Yeah, I mean, a lot happened this week.
Yeah,
Mike, did you see that clip of the Disney Plus show that is just like it's just history?
Oh, the Proud Family.
Yeah, the Proud Family clip where they're basically talking about the history of America. It's like it's an unapologetic telling of the history of slavery, how slaves built America.
Mike, are you sure you weren't frozen in time for the past couple of weeks?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how you missed this one, but every single pundit came out. Yeah, they were all talking about how this is anti-white racism. This whole segment hates making white people hate themselves, all this kind of stuff. It's like,
I've not seen that
of the country.
I ratioed that tweet. I just want to say
nice.
I sure the fuck did, okay? I tens of thousands, baby. Yes. I definitely. Yeah, they listen.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, here's the thing: what they don't understand, and honestly, they do get it because we make the mistake on our side all the time of outrage, falling into the outrage dance and making things bigger than they need to. At the end of the day, young nigga, listen here, white people. The Proud Family has been around for more than 20 years. Okay, Sugar Mama, this is a fucking reboot. It's called The Bigger the Blacker. You know what I mean? The Bigger the Prouder. It was always a black ass show, and it made all the promises to come back and black as fuck. It was always giving it up like, yeah. The Proud Family. We were watching this. This is a show from my childhood. Destiny's Child did the theme song from when they were brand new. Destiny's Child. That's awesome. Bro. Yes, white people. This is why you have to have a resident black friend here to teach you. The Proud Family is a solidified black classic. This is in all they could do for it is make it bigger because look, now all y'all white people knew it. Now look at all that. Oh, you should have seen all that.
I just want to point out that I'm cool. I'm familiar with the Proud Family. I'm not like these three other white boys.
You're good ally. We're good allies.
So honestly, all they did was outrage. All of us already knew. All the people that watched the Proud Family, the entire Proud Family demographic, we already was watching the Proud Family. This is a staple for us. And now you've just put it on bigger eyes. So thank you, crazy, stupid ass, dumb ass conservatives for your performative nonsense outrage, the viewers, the engagement, the people behind the scenes of the Proud Family. We thank you. Thank you. That was excellent. Appreciate it. That was actually a good thing.
In my defense, my family never had cable. We were too poor, so I didn't have Disney or Nickelodeon. So all that I got was like PBS and like the shitty shows. Like, does anyone remember Pepper Ann? And like
Pepper Ann went crazy. Don't you talk shit about Pepper
Recess. No, I mean like comparatively speaking, like Disney Channel was A+. Like I was getting like
Disney Channel was no, they weren't the
You mean-
they
you see-
Nickelodeon was always better Disney
My-
at
my-
TV shows.
yeah.
Mike, you see me playing you a song in the world's smallest school.
I'm Canadian, so
I was
don't know what the hell any of
deprived.
this shit is,
Okay.
but we had YTV and the Family. What was it? The Family
Hell yeah.
Channel? Was that what it was?
Yeah,
The-
yeah, we have a family channel.
There we go.
Mm.
You had Degrassi High School, Degrassi College, Degrassi
Degrassi
2.0,
kinda like
Degrassi
my
Millennial Edition.
childhood, though.
Mike, I never had cable either because my parents thought it was like really bad for you. Did you ever do this thing as a kid where you'd grab like wires and put them in the TV and find the local like RF channels? Like that's how I watched The Simpsons.
No.
I would like hold a wire to get the free local channel that played it and until like we could get enough reception.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
do that. It's like I got some exposure to it at my friend's house because she always had cable, but
Okay.
but no, other than that, like I was always very envious. Like I thought Disney was very based in Nickelodeon, and yeah.
You were doing that for The Simpsons? I was doing that for like Playboy
Well, we got
TV
The
on the illegal cable box.
Oh God, it's so hard to season the boob or penis. I don't know.
No, The Simpsons was on Fox, like a local Fox affiliate. So I got The Simpsons. You didn't need cable for that, at least where I lived. But I still, I had a great childhood. I watched TGIF, Recess, very, very good. Olay, how dare you? How dare you?
I don't know. I just never fucked with it. I did like the John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith little bit. They did that. That was cute. But other than that, I didn't fuck with Recess. So for real.
See, that was like one of my faves, and I forgot, like I can't remember what like my all-time favorites were, but it was always like when I could see it, like SpongeBob. Like I didn't get to watch it as much, but when I did, it was like Seventh Heaven. And when they started releasing the VHS tapes at the library,
like, yeah, you watch all the broke ass cartoons. I see all the broke ass.
I did.
Seventh Heaven. When you said Seventh Heaven, I said, "Oh, okay." Suddenly, I saw your childhood real clearly. You said Seventh Heaven. I said, "Oh, this nigga was dreaming about a better life."
There was a show called Seventh Heaven too, by the way. I don't know if you all saw it, but that was a banger. Have you ever heard of Seventh Heaven?
Isn't the main actor that in that show now like something's he's like a criminal, I think?
He's a child molester.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah. There's some clips that are so golden. I wish that we could play them, but I think it would get copyright claimed.
Yeah,
but like
we can't do that.
There's one instance where like one of the kids was caught, I think, hanging out with someone who smoked a joint, and like they had a whole family meeting and was like, "What is this?" And like the music was all serious. He's like, "What is this?" And like he just like straight up screamed, "Tell me what this is! This is marijuana!" And like it was fucking so like unironically hilarious, like one of the most hysterical things ever. If you haven't seen Seventh Heaven, look it up and Google the marijuana clip specifically because it's so good. It's so good.
I'm seeing lots of nostalgia in the chat here. Bobby's World, hell yeah! I watched Bobby's World. Gargoyles, that's right.
I watched Gargoyles. I watched Bobby's World.
I love the angry. I actually have an Angry Beavers. Let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you all my Angry Beavers stuff. 1 second.
We gotta
get mad
real news as well too, though, because
I love
like
Dexter's Lab.
We will get the real news.
Dexter's Lab, amazing.
I had Dexter Lab. I work at my apartment.
This is an intense week. Didn't you Americans just get attacked by China? That's what I saw over here. Apparently in the form of like balloon aviation direct
We've
attacks,
forgiven them.
spy software.
Yeah,
we forgive them.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cool.
the Angry
It's unheard of.
Beavers. I remember the
That's
Angry
I
what
Beavers.
it is.
Vinyl?
My little sister has the other one. The annoying
You
one.
Canadians would have liked Bobby's World. I bet you guys had the hots
love it.
for Bobby's mom because of her accent.
I can't remember. I don't get that joke because I can't remember what it is.
That's all I remember.
You don't remember? Bobby, don't you know? Bobby.
Yeah. Oh,
They were in
okay, now I
Wisconsin,
get
I
it.
think, right?
Yeah.
I believe.
I really liked
Oh,
Bobby's
yeah.
World a lot. That was like
actually-
one of my mains.
Someone was mentioned.
To people
How-
in David's chat talking about Ren and Stimpy. I loved Ren and Stimpy, and I don't want to shatter your world. The creator of Ren and Stimpy is a massive weirdo creep. So
Yeah.
Is that surprising? Did you watch Ren and Stimpy? That's not shocking.
True.
Yeah,
Fair.
that show is
Okay.
a little bizarre.
It's fair, but it just sucks. It seems like a lot of people in the animation industry turn out to be massive weirdos who just trying to groom kids and shit.
And
Like
so stop doing too much research. That's y'all's own problem. Stop going down the monkey. Stay out of their people business. Just focus on your.
I can't ignore that Justin Roiland is like a massive weirdo now. You know,
told you to know that, and now you shared it with others. You're selfish. That's what you are. You're selfish.
No, I'm not trying to take other people's childhoods away. I'm not a childhood vampire. I swear, I'm not a childhood vampire. Enjoy what you enjoy. It sucks. It just sucks that keeps happening. It's happening with more frequency now or something. I don't know what it is.
Someone mentioned the pop-up girls, and I don't know if you know, but I regularly talk about the pop-up girls as real propaganda when you realize them bitches is agents of the state, police brutality. Anyway, I actually recently commissioned a fire-ass Mojo Jojo abolitionist piece. But anyway, look at it. Like,
Whoa.
Canvas painting it. Look how fire it is.
Wow, that is nice.
D Foster Art on Instagram. Yes, it's gonna be so fire when it goes in my living room. Yes, I love the pop-up girls. I'm getting a piece. Like, y'all know my Dragon Ball Z pieces I have in my living room, my Piccolo, my Frieza, and my Yamcha, and my Bulma. I'm gonna get him and Fuzzy Lumpkin from the pop-up girls in the same way, but behind bars. Listen, my living room goes crazy in my living room. I love me some cartoon art.
Oh yeah,
So
people are
this
bringing
is
up reboot.
This is a left turn, but there's a great Elon Musk story that dropped today, and I got a quote. I got to pull a couple quotes from this because it is hilarious.
So good. If y'all don't know or haven't read the article, it's golden, start to finish.
It is good.
Yeah. Once again, just like a petulant man baby billionaire who has surrounded himself with yes men and can't take no.
So basically, Elon Musk is angry because he thinks his tweets aren't getting out to a lot of people. So on Tuesday, Musk gathered a group of engineers and advisors into a room at Twitter's headquarters looking for answers. Why are his engagement numbers tanking? This is ridiculous, he said, according to multiple sources with direct knowledge of the meeting. Quote, I have more than 100 million followers, and I'm only getting tens of thousands of impressions. One of the company's two remaining principal engineers offered a possible explanation for Musk's declining reach just under a year after the Tesla CEO made a surprising offer to buy Twitter for $44 billion. That public interest is waning, basically. It is antics. So people are getting tired of his antics, was what the engineer suggested. Employees showed Musk internal data regarding engagement with his account, along with a Google Trends chart. Last April, they told him Musk was at peak popularity in search rankings, indicated by a score of 100. Today, he's at a score of 9. Engineers had previously investigated whether Musk's reach had somehow been artificially restricted, but found no evidence that the algorithm was biased against him. Musk did not take the news well. You're fired. You're fired, Musk told the engineer.
This motherfucker dead ass thinks he really dead ass thinks he's a character on Billions. Like, this is really crazy.
Absolutely,
it's outrageous. Like, I told y'all from day one what it boils down to, and I'm gonna say it again. This motherfucker is a loser, bro. The fucking app has glitches for days, nigga. Fix the app.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah, there's tons of
You're
glitches
worried
now.
about your engagement, nigga. That's not the point of owning Twitter. Like, this is not a bro. What? You trying to buy friends? First of all, we hate you. First, you look like you like I hate you. You ghastly like creature. Fuck you, bro. We hate you. That's why we're not even interested no more. You done fucked up the app. It's shitty now. You do bullshit all the time. You letting people write long treatises like Edgar Allan Poe all over the fucking app. This shit is crazy. What the fuck are you doing, nigga?
I don't know if Edgar Allan Poe is known for writing lengthy material.
It's longer than a tweet. It's longer than a tweet. It's supposed to be. Like, what the fuck? No, it's upsetting. He's a loser. Like, you out here focused. That's crazy. You wondering why bro, you fucked the app up. It doesn't work anymore. The app doesn't work like that, bro. It has mad glitches. You find out staff. It's literally breaking down, crumbling.
Weren't they all trying to hide, like, to put their accounts under locked, like protected tweets to see if that would heighten engagement? Like, there was a whole Elon Musk was like testing this as opposed to maybe, I don't know, having people look into
the thing is that people
it does sometimes increase engagement because of the fact that you've locked your account, and that brings more people towards you just as a attention grabber.
But that's also not possible But that's also doesn't make any sense because you're locked out from people who don't. You're locking out people who don't follow you. So just by that metric, you wouldn't see it. But the only reason people were reporting that for months, that all of a sudden their tweets were getting more engagement when they locked their accounts. But he didn't decide to test it out until he saw Ian Miles Chong tweet about it.
Bro. Oh, I thought it was Cat Turd.
No, it was Ian Miles. It's either this one was Ian Miles Chung, but I see how you could make that mistake because if it isn't tweeted out by Ian Miles Chung or Cat Turd, Elon Musk probably won't see it. Right.
I mean, the three biggest losers on Twitter, right there, just ridiculous.
My thing is, I don't know why he's acting like he's Nelson fucking Mandela. Like, what the fuck do you think you're seeing that the whole world needs to see? Like, what important message do you think is not
missing? The whole world needs to see.
Yeah, like,
true. It's all Reddit jokes. 4chan copy paste.
Yeah, like,
it's true. All he does is steal memes. He steals dad jokes. That's his whole thing.
He don't do anything. Like, there's nothing like the level of fucking delusions of grandeur. Like my man, just a fucking cornball.
Yeah.
Did you see that? There's another part in that piece that you pulled up where an anonymous Twitter employee tells Platformer that basically Elon Musk will wake up in the middle of the night and come running to them and request or demand that they figure something out on Twitter based on a complaint from a single Twitter user. So then their day is
captured call.
Yeah, and then their day is spent. Yeah, there we go. There's times he's just awake late at night and says all sorts of things that don't make sense. One employee
high
said.
on amphetamines, most likely.
And then he'll come to us and be like, "This one person says they can't do this one thing on the platform," and then we have to run around chasing some outlier use case for one person. It doesn't make any sense.
The 4 a.m. Cat Turd call.
What a clown!
I love it.
Oh my god!
And they still hate him though. Like the right
they still hate him.
Hates him. Yeah. Cat Turd put out a tweet that got like thousands and thousands of likes, millions of impressions, and he's like, "We might as well be invisible. I'm basically shadow banned." It's yeah. Everybody hates him, and I love that everybody hates him. I love that the right has turned on him, and as much as he
there's still the weird
backwards to appease them, they're just unappeasable. And I like that he, at his core, knows that he's always going to be hated, even by the one tribe who was kind of open to accepting him. That makes me feel really good.
He still has his weird nerds, the ones who
he does.
Basically the ones with the Tesla logo as their avatar, or Dogecoin, the Dogecoin Shiba Inu as their avatar, and they just basically suck him off in his replies all day, all night, 24/7.
Mm-hmm. I feel like those.
How about
people...
we do a couple of State of the Union?
Yeah,
clips.
We could do that.
Good. So this week was the State of the Union address, which it's all pageantry, it's all whatever. It's not really anything to speech, but there was a moment that it's important to know just how full of shit Republicans are. If you don't know that already, this moment really highlighted that. So this was a moment during the speech. I'm gonna pull it up here. And then I got a clip to follow up to show you just how full of crap these people are.
Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy. I'll give you a copy of the proposal. That means Congress doesn't vote. Well, I'm glad to see you. No, I tell you, I enjoy conversion. It means if Congress doesn't keep the programs the way they are, they'd go away. Other Republicans say, I'm not saying it's a majority of you. I don't even think it's even a significant, but it's being proposed by individuals. I'm not politely not naming them, but it's being proposed by some of you. Look, folks, the idea is that we're not going to be. We're not going to be.
I gotta say, he is still Joe Biden, but he was the best Joe Biden he possibly could have been that night. Like I thought
one of
he
his
was
better speeches for
I
sure.
thought he was
Yeah,
on fire,
I was
and the way he was going back and forth with them, he was doing really like this whole idea of Sleepy Joe or there's something wrong with him mentally, and then you turn this on as the average American hearing this stuff, and you watch this and you see his performance. Honestly, I think that thing where he says I like conversion when he meant conversation, I think that was his one screw up the entire night. Other than that, he was like not even like misspeaking. He was just at the again, he still said numerous times he's a proud capitalist. He's still Joe Biden. But he was the best Joe Biden that progressives could have possibly asked for that night. He was really on fire with a lot of the things he brought
as well,
up.
like in the middle of the speech where he was bringing up like very specific working class issues that they have addressed, at least in some way. Of course, not even nearly enough. But in terms of like pharmaceuticals, they have capped the cost of insulin to $35 a month for those on Medicare. They try to do it for everybody, but that was blocked by the GOP last year. So like he brought up a few cases of he even brought up like corporate greed, that kind of thing. And yes, we all understand Democrats, Biden aren't exactly honest on that issue, but just simply the optics of the speech, which is what these speeches are all about. It's all about optics. I thought he did very well. But here, so the GOP pretending that they don't that they don't want to cut Social Security, and in fact, there is a clip here from Mike Lee. Mike Lee, one of the faces, they're freaking out. You're going to see him in this video.
For anyone who wants to separate him from the rest of the pack, this is the sitting U.S. senator whose Twitter handle is Based Mike Lee. Just to let you guys know that. Yes.
That's his name. That's ridiculous.
Yes, that is his legitimate Twitter handle.
Cool, bro.
Based Mike Lee, a sitting U.S. senator.
So on the left, he's freaking out about, Biden saying that they want to cut Social Security, and listen to what he's actually said behind the scenes.
It will be my objective to phase out Social Security, to pull it up by the roots and get rid of it. People who advise me politically always tell me that's dangerous, and I tell them, in that case, it's not worth my running. That's why I'm doing this, to get rid of that. Medicare and Medicaid are of the same sort and need to be pulled up. It will be.
There we go.
Sick son of a bitch.
So pretty clear.
Yeah. And for the other Republicans who don't say that they want to get rid of it or sunset it, they still want to cut it. I think that his name was Rick Allen. It was a Republican from Georgia who was asked, why do you want to cut Social Security? And he's like, I don't want to cut Social Security. And then the reporter follows up and says, well, what about raising the retirement age? And he's like, well, that's something we're considering. And it's like, that's a cut to Social Security. Like, that's a cut right there. So they're so disingenuous, but they have to lie because their base, which is full of people who depend on Social Security, older people, they would never go for it. There would be so much backlash. So this is why they have to lie. This is why they were so outraged, because Biden kind of blew up their game. And if Biden really wanted to call their bluff right now, he'd call on them to introduce legislation to raise the cap on Social Security, lift the cap on taxable income specifically, and that would make Social Security solvent for decades. Will they do it? Of course not, because they rely on this idea that Social Security is going bankrupt, so that way they can push reforms, i.e. cuts.
There's a specific plan that I'm pretty sure Joe Biden was referencing, and that's Rick Scott, the senator from Florida, chair of Republican Senate campaign. He put out a proposal, a plan that basically, and I think it would be this would be a regular vote or something like that under his plan. But Social Security and Medicare would expire in 5 years unless Congress gets together and reapproves it. And this happens, and I believe, if I recall correctly, under his plan, in perpetuity, where every 5 years they would have to reapprove Social Security and Medicare, otherwise bye-bye.
All federal laws sunset after 5 years, including Social Security and Medicare,
And the reason they do it that way is so that it's harder to blame them when it happens. Because if it's already set in place, this is going to sunset, then there isn't necessarily a direct vote saying, yes, we're cutting it. It's just going to happen in 5 years, and they can that's what happened. You know, it did it by itself. So it's a way to try and get away from any blame when it actually happens, if that plan were to go through.
And Ron Johnson also, he proposed the moving of Social Security from our mandatory budget to discretionary spending. So that way, year to year, you have to approve spending for it. You can make adjustments. Whereas when it's part of our mandatory budget, which is what Congress can't adjust, it's just automatically funded every single year. So that was another proposal that would allow them to kind of inadvertently fuck over people on Social Security. Sorry, go ahead, Lance.
Oh, no, I completely forgot what I was going to say. I just remembered it. David, I see in your comments, you get the same thing as me a lot. Why do you Canadians always talk about getting Americans Medicare for all? And this conversation is reminding me of this exact point where it's like, I want Americans to have healthcare so they're healthy, so they'll have more time to do productive things and take care of their families, learn, enjoy themselves, leisure. It's going to be better overall than having a country with a lot of guns, like a lot of guns, a shit ton of guns, just fuck tons of guns, like just guns, porn, guns, fetish, fucking Instagrams with guns, TikToks with guns, just so much guns. Y'all love guns. It would be amazing. So go ahead.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it's helpful. I would imagine it's helpful to have an outsider perspective, because there's a lot of bullshit, like Canadians like Jordan Peterson or Steven Crowder, who are completely full of shit, getting paid millions of dollars to push a right-wing agenda. I think it's important to dispel a lot of the myths around healthcare. And look, our healthcare system isn't perfect, but the issue isn't that it should be privatized. The issue is that it needs to be invested in further. So that's. Like, I would take our healthcare system over the American system any freaking day of the week. And it's because it's always there.
Too.
I was able to start and do what I'm doing now because I didn't have to rely on healthcare tied to an employer. I was able to start this, do this show and always have healthcare there. It's always there, regardless. That's one thing you never have to worry about. And I think it's important to, be able to offer that perspective.
Yeah.
And I want Americans to have
employer is so cruel. Like my husband worked at his employer basically just for the healthcare. And it was pretty good healthcare, but I mean, when you tie it to your employer, then that makes you completely insecure, So obviously that's terrible. Now, and thankfully,
a lot of people stay in shitty jobs because of that.
Right? Yeah. I mean, he was getting ruthlessly exploited. Like he would print banners for like Nike and Adidas, and he'd get these tickets for like millions of dollars, but yet hasn't had a raise in like 5 years. It was so fucked up. But now, thankfully, I mean, the Affordable Care Act was terrible, wasn't good enough, but because of it, we do have healthcare now, not through his employer, which is great. But I mean, like, just picking the cheapest plan, it's still very shitty. The deductible is very high. I think it's like $700 a month for the two of us. And every time you see a doctor, you've got to pay a copay. I had a 10-minute phone conversation with my doctor just to renew my prescription. That was $50 for copay. And I can afford it though. Like, so I'm not necessarily complaining, but like for just normal people, like if you have like a mental health crisis, like members of my family have, then that dissuades you from talking to your doctor. And like if you live in a state like Oregon and you're poor enough, you can qualify for Medicaid. But if you're like just over, like if you make $1 over, then you're kind of just fucked. So these means tested programs, they're better than nothing. But having a particular income, that isn't a sufficient indicator of like need itself, right? Because you could be dealing with other things. Like my nephew has juvenile diabetes, and so like all these different things that people are dealing with, the system doesn't account for it. It's just barbaric and ruthless.
Well, I was fundamentally unimpressed. But listen, I'm not interested in the State of the Union in general, no matter who is the president, because it's like, to me, I think of it as like an English class in freshman year at college. What this really boils down to is what kind of orator you are, like what kind of speech this is, and blah blah blah. So ultimately, it's a performative measure, right? Like I don't really give a fuck what he has to say about the State of the Union. I could look around. Also, all the things he had to say on policing and Tyree Nichols, everything considering, all Biden ever does is try to expand the police state, give more money to policing, hire more police, do more bullshit that is part of exactly the problem. He's never wanted to do anything positive that would do anything to curb police violence or Black people being killed by the police. So I don't really appreciate him trotting out that family and using them as props. It don't really do nothing for me. As far as the general, that being said, yeah, I will give you all that it's better, a lot better than you'd expect from Biden, because yes, usually Biden is basically like not really a real living person at this point. So it was a good performance when that's the bar. But when I think about it in the grand scheme, it's kind of crazy that that's how low I gotta have the bar for the person you elect as president, right? Like
that's always been the bar, unfortunately.
I know, and that's what I'm saying.
It's true.
Yeah, so I'm unimpressed. And
old geriatric white dudes coming out just being like, "I'm here, I'm present."
And then the honest side of it, so then on the jokier side, but on the serious of what, like, I couldn't go into politics because the way I would rule with an iron fist, people would not feel comfortable to be screaming out, booing, and carrying on, because I would be 613 them. Like, I'm telling you, they'd be gone in the night. Like, ain't no way I'm gonna allow this treachery to go unpunished. Y'all ain't in there screaming and carrying on.
That's why you should get into it, though.
I'm president. Like, what you talking about? Let me tell you something. It'd be you wouldn't be able to have fucking peep in there. Like, what? Like, what? I'll go to your mother's house. Come home. I'll be at the table with your mother. Like, hey, what's up? Would you remember that shit you was talking?
The best politicians, though, are people that don't seem like, or the people that don't want to necessarily be a politician.
Yeah.
Like those are which is
reluctant
really hard
politicians.
to find those kinds of people. Yeah. But like those are the ones that make the best politicians.
I have zero political aspirations. People keep trying to get that off. It ain't gonna happen. Let me tell you, it's for the betterment of the folks.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm not a team player. I can make a team look good, but I'm not a team player. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not with the team's overall vision. Like, I'm very like that. I always even like that as a lawyer. Like, you be talking to the group, everybody says, you know, their idea, the different take on the case I had is, and I ultimately am like, right, I'm gonna go with mine. And I always rest assured. I've always felt confident that's right, and I'm constantly reaffirming that belief. They're not gonna want me on the team, and they're gonna kill me. Like, I don't want to, you know. I'm not, because if I give me some power, give me some clemency powers, nigga. Listen, the soundtrack would be "If I Rule the World" by Nas. What? I free all my son. What? Like, they would take me out the game. No. So no politics for me. No, thank you. Also, I'm too Bahamian. Like, the way Bahamian politicians are set up, like, our prime minister will curse you out for getting in this business. Like, that's very much so how it is. The prime minister will be like, "Excuse me, are you getting my business?" to the report, and that is an acceptable response for the Bahamian people. American politicians and American public figures constantly have to answer questions. I don't like that. The idea of apologizing for some shit I did in my personal life, yo, it's your fucking mind.
If you watch the right, though, they have stopped apologizing. They've stopped answering questions. You can bring that to the left, like bring that to the left with some actual real values, some real principles, and fight for people, and fight that same game. Because that ultimately, I think that's how we win. Is we play their game but do it better than they do, and do it with some actual principles and some values behind it. Mm-hmm. But not for it.
Yeah, listen, I just feel like it can stress me out. Like, I'm already at the point where, you know, people say to me like, "Oh, Limey," you know, I'm getting to the point where I can't cry. I gotta try to, you know, not rile people as much. Or people like you just gotta let people say all the things that they want. I'm already getting to kind of that point in my career, and that's a little bit of ass. Let alone used to be a politician. You gotta be like, I can't be like, "Bro, fuck you." Oh, that's crazy. I'm in trouble because that's my constituents. Oh no. Oh, you voted for me. I'm sorry. You got on my nerves. I'm so sorry. I can't do it.
I would love to see that, honestly. Just if a constituent like comes up and has some right-wing talking point and tries to heckle you over some dumb shit, you're just like, shut the fuck up. Like, I would love to see that. I would kill to see that.
Listen, they would be so over me. I would just know. My mother literally wouldn't rest. My mother would be so sure I'm getting shot. She would be so confident. When I first started commentating, my mom would call me like heartbeating after. She'd be like, "Please, Olayemi, why are you in the people country making noise? Please stop saying Please, you can't. She's like, please just stop going on the white people network and saying blackity black stuff. Oh,
She said that.
my mommy'd be moved to tears. Like anytime a baby performs, like the biggest something is, and you think, oh, best thing for career success, the more my mommy'd be like, oh no, oh,
He's worried about you.
My mommy like, oh my child, why? I just don't understand. They start talking to my daddy. I don't know why the child is like that. She never did listen. Oh Jesus. Oh, America is such a
I don't blame them though for being worried because this is a really violent, fucked up country. So like,
not they. My daddy is not concerned, child. My daddy is like, listen, my child, she knows what she's doing. She has been there for a long time. Okay, I trust that she understands the situation. My child can do whatever she wants. That's my daddy's position, 100%. My daddy's like, whatever. My daddy's like, she told me she had one promise. She was going to go to America and go be a lawyer. She did that. As far as my daddy's concerned, I owe nobody else, nothing else. Get off my ass. That's my daddy's official position. Like, people be like, oh, you can't be like that.
It's good to have one of each. You have one parent that's concerned, one parent that's not. A balance there. It's good.
Yeah. They're funny. They're an interesting lot. My daddy's like more, like you would think my daddy's like more conservative than my mommy. But my daddy's more like, if you done what he expected of you, that's it. Like my daddy's like, everybody had specific goals. You be a lawyer. All my sisters were supposed to be doctors. Your specific assignments. If you finish the assignment, my daddy's like, all right, you're not on payroll. You do what you're supposed to do. Cool. Like, he's like, the child pays her own bills. I'm not complaining. And I'm like, thank you, daddy. And my daddy be on my side. Also, the older I get, the more I am my father. Like I am my ex-boyfriend said to me the other day, he was like, your daddy really raised a fine young man in you. And I was like, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I definitely am my daddy. I call my daddy and I'm like, ooh, understanding. I feel understood here. Yes, daddy. They have me fucked up. I just want to work. These people want to talk about working. I just want to work. Yes. So
since we were on politicians talking about bullshit or talking bullshit earlier, I just want to play this clip. This is from I guess Tim Pool was in it. I don't know where he is, but he's somewhere like a hotel room. I think he's probably in Byron Donalds' office.
Yeah, he did a live episode from like the congressional offices, the Capitol building offices. He had on, who do you have on? He had Lauren Boebert
Byron
on.
Donalds here.
Yeah, they had a bunch. He had a bunch of people come on. Yeah.
Hear this response. This is a response about lobbyists.
People are getting like basically bribed by pharmaceutical companies. They're whoever they're what do they call them, lobbyists. Yeah. That they actually feel like you're threatening their money if you're passing a bill that denies the lobbyists.
No. That's not even it, because the truth is about lobbyists is they're going to write you a check regardless. What a lobbyist really wants is access. They want to be able to be like, look, if I pass you a $5,000 check, if I call your staff, or if I happen to have your cell phone, will you answer my call and give me an opportunity to explain myself? Lobbyists are counting votes, which also is what leadership in both chambers is doing. They're counting votes.
Why do they want the access though? And like, he avoids that question.
They're not going to keep giving you money if you don't listen to them. Like this is completely ignore. Like it's so dishonest. But
hey, Big Kev, big fan. Just wanted the opportunity to talk with you on the phone. Just wanted to hear your voice, the sweet, sultry McCarthy voice. I love it. Here's $5K. Look forward to talking to you again in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
I'm going to catch up and know your thoughts on that latest episode of The Last of Us, and if you picked up the remastered Metroid Prime. We're just buds here. I just want access. That's it. Nothing else.
I mean, who
believes this shit? Does anybody believe this shit? I mean, he's brazenly defending corruption here.
And I guarantee you, I mean, I haven't seen that full clip, but I would be shocked if like Tim Pool went harder at Donalds over that. Like, they probably just moved on.
I'm impressed they even asked that question, to be fair, because
it's his buddy who doesn't fucking know anything. Like it's his buddy who doesn't realize he's on like a far right wing show. So he occasionally has these moments where he'll like say something that's like somewhat, but then he says something really crazy as well. Like he's all over the place.
Yeah, is that the crazy person on the show who asks kind of like Nazi-esque questions?
Yeah, he asks
very bizarre.
I don't think he realized he was doing it.
Can I ask everyone a question? Because obviously I'd like to ask your consent before offering this. But Aaron Brown or RM Brown was asking if he could join the conversation.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, of course.
Absolutely not.
Bring
No,
RM
of course,
Brown.
have him go.
Fair enough.
Hello,
Fair
who's
enough.
that? Who's
Fair
that?
enough.
Who's that?
YouTuber,
He is
very
hilarious
funny.
and
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah. He was also on our election stream for the midterms. Olay.
Yeah, I'm not against it. You could bring him.
Okay.
I
He was
don't
on, I
think
think,
that
after-
he and
after
Olay
you
were
were-
on at the same time, though. I think
Yeah,
that
I think they were
Olay
on
left
different
and then
times.
came back later.
Fair enough.
I didn't meet Bender. I met Mike and David, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
didn't
for
meet
sure.
Bender that night. Bender was the only one, and I met. No, did I meet Lumen? Yes. She came on at the end. I can't remember. I'd be fried. Y'all know what I'm.
Yeah, I know that you left for a while, Olay, and then you came back.
Yeah, that might.
But
Yeah, that could happen.
I can't remember.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, I started binging RM's content, and now I'm caught up. I watch basically.
It's
every
my
single
morning show.
episode.
You know how some people watch like Good Morning America or something?
Yep.
For me, it's like RM Brown because it's just like it has the piano like kind of song in the background. It's very peaceful and calming.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
It's my lunch show.
Yeah,
his
it's a
clips,
good coffee show.
his
You know,
like audio, his soundboard lives in my head rent free. Like
Oh,
I'll be
I know,
like
all the
doing
time.
something, and it'll pop up in my head. Like
true.
Maybe I should wait till he gets in here. But anytime someone says, generally speaking, I think of the Joe. He has a Joe Rogan sound drop. Where
Yeah,
this is a thing that Joe Rogan actually said on one of his podcasts. Generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese. So every time I hear generally speaking, I hear Chinese people look Chinese. It's,
Joe Rogan.
he's ruined that for me completely. We also got that Matt Walsh clip that all of you were sharing. Like there's like a version that you shared, Lance. There's a version that Mike shared. I'm not sure which one I should share here, but we can bring that up as well because he was
Share
getting
them all,
completely
honestly.
destroyed.
It's wild.
this,
I can't believe he was bragging about this. Like, I would not have the self-confidence, like I don't, to be able to have performed like this on like a town hall and then upload it or have it uploaded and be like, yeah, I showed them a thing or two.
I feel like
wrecked.
so.
Like-
This is in Tennessee. I'm thinking like, did he not expect the pushback because he's in Tennessee? Is that maybe why he walked in here with such confidence and just to get destroyed?
I'll be honest.
I have no idea. It wouldn't be surprising.
Yeah, I probably would have agreed with that take, to be honest with you. I didn't know it was going to be like this well of a grilling.
So this one was shared by Mike. I assume he'll be back.
This is
shortly.
this Matt Walsh?
No, this is
That's when? Or
No,
something?
this is Caleb Hammer. This is a lawmaker in
No, but it's a clip of Matt Walsh coming up.
You'll
Okay,
see Matt Walsh.
Let me see it because I don't know these people. All right, let's watch.
You in former comments mentioned this on your blog. At about 16, you're an adult who's mature, can make decisions. You're that at 16. I don't care what anybody says, even going so far as to say, 16 people, when you're 16, you should be married and could be pregnant or should be pregnant.
Yeah, that's a hit piece you took from Media Matters.
You don't use it to get clicks on your publication.
Well, are you using it right now to try to get clicks with this interaction?
I'm curious about you speaking to the development of the human brain by the age of 25. I seem to recall you advocating on behalf of firearm possession at the age of 18. Do you think that's appropriate?
Let's stay on the bill, please.
I just have to question, some of your public policy, expertise when, I'm reading here, Singapore is able to have nice things in part because they execute drug dealers by hanging and arrest even petty vandals and thieves and beat them with a cane until they bleed.
I have receipts on the first clip, by the way. If you watch the one that I uploaded, David, on Twitter, I have the actual clip when the guy's talking about like the ideal impregnation age is around 16 for like teenage girls.
Oh,
the
yeah.
dude is fucking disgusting and has been
He's
for
a
a long
creep.
time. And not only is he creep, he's lying there because he's like, oh, this is just a hit piece, blah, blah, blah. I was just saying this is how it used to be back then. No, he's saying that it's fine if a 16-year-old is impregnated as long as they get married. That's what he said, as long as they get married. That's the problem that's wrong. He said because they're not married. Not the fact that 16-year-old girls are being impregnated. That's how fucked up he is.
Today that they had their gender affirming surgery at 16. I know you and former comments mentioned this on your blog. At about 16, you're an adult who's mature and can make decisions. You're that at 16. I don't care what anybody says. Even going so far as to say, 16 people, when you're 16, you should be married and could be pregnant or should be pregnant. So I'm curious if 16 is an adult in your view. Why does this bill have the minor defined as 18?
Mr. Walsh, recognized. Yeah, that's a hit piece you took from Media Matters, from something when I was a radio host 13, 14 years ago in my early 20s. It's also
I've got
not
the
an
exact
accurate
clip
reflection
coming
of
up.
what I actually said. I was talking about the fact that people tended to marry young historically, and that's all that was about. How does that relate to this subject?
Between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically most fertile.
Yeah.
Okay? That's biological. That's a fact. All right? I'm just stating facts. That's all I'm doing. But what happened recently, and this is the fourth fact, recently in the last 30 years or so, we decided that that's way too young to start a family.
Why?
And because now
divorce rates would probably go up, and once you're that young, you can't really make sure that
Well,
you know.
no, girls are no.
Because
Because
girls were getting married early and marriages were lasting longer. You very rarely hear about like these relationships that go to their what is it, your diamond anniversary, your 50th anniversary, and all this. That's a dying breed of people out there.
Yeah, and those were all people that got married very young. That's why
they're still alive.
Yeah, that's why you can have someone in their 70s who's celebrating their 55th wedding anniversary because they got married when they were teenagers. So what I'm saying is that the problem is not per se teenage pregnancy, it's unwed pregnancy. That's the problem in society.
This is a sick, nasty. Listen, let's just keep it G real. Like,
right?
I'm gonna say it again. I'm just gonna be saying it every week until we are old and gray. Deplorables is the least of what you could have called these kind of folk. I'm telling you, like, that's the least of it. These are some sick motherfuckers. Like, they're sick. That's constantly what you realize, bro. Just sickness. Just sick.
And that guy's so famous. He's so famous.
And they're paid millions and millions of dollars by Daily Wire, who gets a lot of money from billionaires, to prop these people up. They're advertising. Oh my God, his what is
he has rallies with Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah,
right.
That's how huge it is.
Like, that's why we know who they are. Like, if that money wasn't there behind them, we would know these people.
No, and that's just the side of the
they're there to distract us.
dummies. They're dummy. Listen, they are dummies appealing to dummies, and that's just the tea. And people are like, "Oh yeah, like you think that many people are bad people, or that many people are racist, or that many people are bigots? Do you that many people? Yeah, nigga, yeah, I do. Y'all think 2 million people deserve to be incarcerated? So yes, I think that many people are pieces of shit, dummies that vote and support on that side of the aisle. That's what it is. That's what they're dumb kings for dumb fools too. For like that's all that is. A bunch of nonsense there, but they're sick because all we ever learn is sickness on this side. Every time you find something else, anytime you find something out about these people, it's sick. It's always some sick shit. It's never some regular shit. You never find out nothing like, oh, they was a Boy Scout and that was it. Like, it's never just no normal shit. It's always like, oh, they might have been sex trafficking somebody, They might have been like adopting somebody and like marrying them. They might have been. They always doing sick shit, sickness. I'm not even shocked.
And on that point of him being sick, he literally in 2015 penned an op-ed defending Josh Duggar. For those of you who don't know, Josh Duggar molested his sisters. This is part of the Duggar family, 19 counting, however many kids they had. He actually wrote a soft defense of him, defended the family's response to not turn him in to the police. It was genuinely like, it felt like pedophile apologia. And I actually did a video about this. Like, Matt Walsh is a sick son of a bitch.
Don't forget about Cardinal McCarrick. Mention Cardinal McCarrick too.
Go ahead and explain it, because I'm not as
Cardinal McCarrick was one of the priests who was deeply embattled when there was a huge revelation that the Catholic Church was content warning, raping children globally. And so when that was coming out, all of a sudden it's like, well, this is really fucked. Cardinal McCarrick was accused of both, obviously molesting or using his position of power to have sex with people around, teenage years, but then he also was accused of sexually molesting and raping kids. And Matt Walsh defended him multiple times, both on Twitter and then again on video. He does this video series where he pulls off while he's driving his car in the middle of the road, and he starts talking about Cardinal McCarrick, and he's like, a lot of the men apparently weren't actually children that he was like, abducting. At the end of the day, if you're inside a bed with another man and that other man can have his way with you, then clearly maybe you wanted it, kind of shit. And you're like, holy fuck, you're talking about someone who was a child rapist. So this is really fucked up. The very guy who is leading the charge of LGBTQ plus people are groomers. If you're trans, you're a groomer. If you're gay, you're a groomer. Blah blah blah. You're all groomers. Blah blah blah. Meanwhile, I should be allowed to inspect children's genitals before they play sports and shit like that. Like the dude, Olay, captured it perfectly. He's sick. Absolutely sick.
Yeah,
why are
too,
people like this able to continue on with their careers when all of this is public? Like, there's videos of him saying this shit. Why is he allowed? Why do we?
Sickos, because they just can't say publicly in the world we're in. They just can't say it publicly. But that's why when you see a sick motherfucker be worshipped by people, it's because that's what they like. They like seeing this sick nigga be able to get that shit off. That's just the truth. That's what it's about. Like, yeah, they with it. They just can't say it publicly. That's what they're really upset about. That's why they hate all why can't I say these slurs? Why can't I talk about this? Why is he censoring this? Why do I cancel culture? Because they want to be free to be sick and bigoted and without it, like, right out in public, and people say no one be able to express their disapproval. They're sick. That's why they're not canceled, because there's evidence of it, because they're all sick too.
I just feel like there used to be standards in terms of what companies would want to be associated with, and like the Daily Wire, I guess, obviously really does not care.
And that's when they still live in
and for them that's like a selling feature.
But you know why? Because we used to live in a time before where, like, you could more easily craft what your, say what society standards are and like assume, because you never actually could see it, like, that these kinds of things would cause people to fall into, disarray, or people wouldn't support it. But now with the internet and stuff like that, you could see in real time how quickly people move on, or that it'll drive engagement, or that it'll really do things. So ultimately people feel like, okay, actually it won't end. It won't be the end of me if I continue to support or have this person, or blah, 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 blah. And that's how it is, because we just move on. Like, shit's old the next day in our world. Like,
and the more bigoted that he becomes, the more popular he gets, because I think that the viewers are living vicariously through them. Like, and just this last week, like, he said that it was good if trans women fled the country due to anti-trans laws. He called for doctors who provide gender-affirming care to trans youth, which are medically necessary, by the way. I have to emphasize that. He called for these doctors to be executed, but since that's not necessarily politically feasible, he would settle for just jailing them for the rest of their lives. Like, it is genuinely fascistic, and he owns that, though. That's the crazy part. He is a self-identified theocratic fascist, and some individuals will like pretend as if he's being a little bit tongue-in-cheek or sarcastic. No, he literally owns it. He's not being sarcastic. He is quite literally a theocratic fascist. And the reason why he's also popular, aside from just like that having an appeal, unfortunately, is because, as David was pointing out, like the Daily Wire spends so much money on advertising that their voices are everywhere. So I don't know how many of you have heard of Brett Cooper. I just found out about Brett Cooper. It looks like the female version of Ben Shapiro. So she launched her YouTube channel in January of 2022. And then right now, she has almost 2 million subscribers. Like, that's unfathomable.
That shit makes me so fucking angry.
Right, we've been grinding for years.
We've been doing this for years.
Yeah, but if you have unlimited money and you could blast that message everywhere, you can grow fast.
It's like a decade.
That's what it is. I mean, listen, because they're at the end of the day, this is what we need to understand. They're preaching a tale as old as time. Like, I've said this on, I think, our first show. The right is not doing anything new. All they do is constantly just reframe and rebrand the same old shit. It's the status quo. And if something is the status quo, it's been what's been ingrained. It's what's been the majority for the majority of the whole fucking country's history. So, of course, they are going to do better and be able to popularize that message, the same shit that half the majority of everybody in the country is indoctrinated to believe in the first place, what's entrenched. And yeah, they're going to get people faster. They're going to have more money and shit behind that, because that's why it's the status quo. Like, obviously we're going to be at a disadvantage if we're trying to go against that shit, if we're trying to debunk, or if we're trying to, you know what I mean, in some way resist or shift it, in another direction. That's just the role of the underdog, my friends. Like, it'd be like that sometimes.
That's why so many people sell out and they grift to the right, because there ain't no fucking money on the left. Like, it's a labor of love. Like, I can support myself, right? I do this for a living. But I mean, if I was really in this for the money, I would be on Fox News saying, actually, this "Don't Say Gay" law is not homophobic. As a gay man, I would know.
Yes,
you know?
you would make good money because you're gay. You would make fantastic. You have an opportunity there.
Yep.
Just think about it.
I would rather die.
I would literally
send us your money.
I would literally off myself. Like, no way.
Right.
Oh my God.
What if we do a secret super group? What if we do it like animated or something, and then just collect the money, and then like honestly pill them all on really good things. Be like,
bring them in, and then flip the switch,
and flip the switch, and get paid along the way. You know. And we're all just like avatars and cartoons and something.
So we're all like a bunch of Illuminautis. We all like have animated avatars.
Exactly.
But we're like right wingers.
Yeah.
Like
we're right wingers.
Like an eagle.
You know, we're telling it like it is. We're fighting
characters.
the Matrix. You know, we're tossing out red pills. You know, you got to think of your personas, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, the fact is we have to think of strategies here because we don't have the money, right? Like there has to be what is the way around the fact that we will never have the kind of capital that they have to be able to get our message out there. Like we have to be inventive. We have to do things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a good project.
I think we have to mobilize. Honestly, like I said, I think there isn't as much like unity on our side of the thing because there is like, you know, I have a little bit of a different, you know, outlook on behind the scene. I know a little bit of the social justice Illuminati, where the money is and how it's being funded. I'm a little bit in the nonprofit industrial complex, so I know there's some money there. You know what I mean? And it's different places. I just think you know, it's lack of priority. I think it's lack of priority and lack of unity and messaging. And I also think it's not a lot of camaraderie and working together. I think that's why you don't really see the things like I think you know, you see a lot on our side because we are overrun with grifters, one, and then those grifters two make so much of the discourse infighting, you know what I mean, that makes it impossible to really foster an environment where people can mobilize and they can unite and they can, you know, maximize audiences and stuff. Whereas you see on the right, on the grifters, they be full of shit, helping each other, jumping on, you know what I mean, introducing and you don't really see that on our side. And I think that's why even our show is an anomaly that was met with, you know, negativity because that is what exists on our side of, you know what I mean, like our side is very like, you know,
it wasn't the right freaking out, it was the left freaking out.
That's true. That is true.
So
that is very true. That is very true.
Stupid like online
everyone for different reasons too.
Like suddenly Mafia is some kind of honorary fucking thing, like leftist Mafia. I'm like, bro, that's some shit I came up with. Hi, relax. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's supposed to be tongue in cheek. Like it's not supposed to be like yeah, we're the Mafia. Like
it's for jokes, my guy.
We have the actual power to cancel people.
It's called a good time, but I think that's a reflection of something like you don't see a lot of that, right? And I think that's something you should see more of, like where people maximize bases and audiences and introduce to other people and do that kind of thing. But you don't see it a lot on our side, and I think that's also to our disadvantage because we get caught up in so many like, you know, symbolic, silly, like performative little arguments and litmus tests and stupid shit. Like we're always having, and you see that so much even in microcosms of us, right? And it's even in the reflection that like all of us talk about serious issues all day, every day. That's what we do. And this is like a Thursday night fun thing. And we couldn't talk about the Grammys for 20 minutes without somehow being like, this is why do you care about?
A lot of people were loving it though.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. That kind of thing is a smaller level of what we experience on our side of things that make it hard to see a lot of, you know what I mean, unity, and it becomes a lot of infighting about what the other person's opinion rather than everybody having a united idea or mindset towards, I have a larger purpose. Let's maybe see how we could get on board for collaborate on messaging. Whereas Republicans, the right gets online with bullshit messaging, they get on board messaging quick. Like they had a meeting, like the minute one of them said, they're like, yes, that's the narrative. Let's go, let's fucking go.
Lockstep.
The left is like, the left is like, you said that?
Sync up NPCs.
I wonder if it'd bring me a little bit more engagement if I criticize your opinion moderately. you should have included that one other word. Ooh, you not?
Yeah, didn't go far enough.
You didn't mention this, and you didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of collaboration, our guest is here.
Yeah.
RM Brown. Welcome
to RM Brown.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How you doing? I was just listening.
This is RM Brown.
Interrupt.
He's a comedian, YouTuber, hilarious political guy. Covers
we were just
a lot of the
talking
right.
about faking a conservative show so we could make lots of money.
Oh,
No,
I thought about that. I thought about this for so long. It'd be so good. It'd
do
be
a super group,
financially
you know?
so good. We should do it.
Yeah, we'd clean up. I think
Mm-hmm.
we could
And
give
then
the
at
money
some
to good
point we flip the
organizations.
switch and actually
IWW.
educate them. That's
My
well,
Patreon.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that could be the leftist mafia project. Is like we'll come up with a thing where it's like, oh, we realized we were really into all this, left political stuff, but we realize it's wrong. It's all wrong. So now we're and we're open. And
We saw the light.
And we're open to any of that, whatever.
We love
we're
white
in-
supremacy now.
Yeah. but definitely we're into the libertarian economics that the wealthy donors will help us out with some, think tank money and all that stuff. It's going to be a big part of it, I think, for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how you do it. You have to pretend you're not really that far right, but everything you're saying is super far right. But it's all couched in dog whistles, and as long as you're not, going out like Kanye, then it's still there's enough plausible deniability that no, I'm not that person. I just think that we need to lower taxes on the rich, like that.
Which one of us would look? Which one of us do you think would look the most believable to conservatives as the progressive or the leftist who
David.
went right?
Are y'all silly, David?
Yeah, that's what I would say too. All you have to do, is stick his,
no hesitation.
All I gotta do is put a suit on. All I gotta do is put a suit on.
stick your hair back. Stick your hair back.
If you throw David in a suit right now and let him start singing right wing shit, they'd fall in love with. They would be talking to me. Listen, they'd be talking.
Well, to be fair, we all would.
I don't have an angle though. Like Mike is gay. He has an well. I'm bi. I guess like that's an angle, but.
Oh, I didn't know you were bi. Spice it up. I didn't know that.
We're not getting into this now.
I don't like how so many people are saying Mike in the chat. Okay, I get
No,
like
it's
the
not
beard,
Mike.
but that's more of a hipster beard. It's not like a conservative lumberjack beard. Like this is hipster. You know what I mean?
Speaking
It's
of
definitely
bi,
David.
It's a good beard,
I'm gonna plug it now because I saw someone asked if I have my own YouTube channel, and then since we're speaking of bi, y'all know LOL Overruled on TikTok, who is TikTok famous. We are starting a show on. It's on my calendar. This is either it's at the end of this, I believe, at the end of this month, like February 23rd. So we are gonna have a show,
like a weekly show
on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna do one. Yeah,
awesome.
Yes. So this is me telling y'all. You heard it here first.
That's
LOL
awesome.
Overruled.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna do that. You know I do things. I do things. So that's my plug.
No, if Lent.
And it's
if
Owen.
Lent-
Oh, I would never do that. But yes, you're right. If I wanted to be a right wing, if I were me, but on the right, I would honestly, y'all would have to take literally put me down. Like I'd be the worst thing ever. No, that's why people don't get it. You know what? Y'all ever seen a Black Lady sketch show, which I love, but they have a skit called Black Lady Courtroom, and it's like Black Lady Courtroom because everybody in the courtroom is black. That is, let me tell you something in real life. That is the worst thing you could ever in your fucking experience in your life. If I walk in a court and I see a black judge and a black prosecutor, I'm like, my client is going to fucking jail, nigga. Going to jail. They're going to jail. Oh, they're going to jail. I'm like, understand how hard black people go. So think about how hard I go and imagine this on the other end of the prosecutor. I'm like, oh, this fucking nigga about to ask for jail. Oh my God, it's about to be.
You would also make a lot of money, by the way, doing that.
No, I could imagine they would. Oh my God, they would.
You could be famous next week if you wanted to be. Just
they would.
making that
switch. And rich.
Well,
They
yeah,
would
that's
go crazy
yeah.
for it. But let me tell you something. I would blow my own fucking brains out. I would jump out the window like old boy in Game of Thrones, Cersei's young son. That is my Grubhub that I'm going to go get. But fuck
Oh, yeah,
no,
that was
like I
intense.
would sooner die. Like the coonery of it all. Like oh no. But no, they would love it. I could see because even when I'm on the Hill, there are a bunch of comments, and I think this is mental illness. But the men they were like, I hate everything that comes out of our mouth, but I love to watch her talk. It's wild how many like cops and white supremacists are attracted to me. It's sick. I'd make all kind of bread.
I will say that there was one. I've had one organization. This is a couple years ago. Reach out to me, and I didn't even take a conversation because I knew that it would be stupid to do anything with this company. It's Rumble. So Rumble, a couple of years ago, I think they were trying to kind of like make their image appear more. Oh, we're just objective. We got people on the right and on the left. So they were trying to reach out to some people on the left to and we're talking like it sounded like six figures just to have like early videos posted on the channel. Like I still have my YouTube channel, still do stuff there, but like videos go up early on Rumble, and I was just like, I'm like, who do you have there? Like, there's no one. Like, I don't want to be there. Those people.
Have you
I don't want any
guys?
association with that.
Oh my god. I wonder if I would have taken that. But have you guys watched? Have you guys watched Donald Trump's Rumble account at all?
No. Is
Okay,
it
Donald Trump Jr.'s? Donald Trump
No. Regular, senior.
No.
Regular Trump or
I haven't seen Daddy.
Regular
Daddy Don. No.
The OG, the original.
Yeah.
So what he's been doing is they're literally like video tweets. So they're like 30-second long, and they have the same feeling of tweets, but it's just him in a video. It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Oh wait, are these like those old? Are these like those old Donald Trump Twitter videos he used to put out there, where he's just in his little Trump Tower office and he's just like, no,
they're new. He does them like once. It looks like he does them like once or twice a week.
Yeah.
they're on his Rumble.
Oh, here,
channel.
yeah, okay.
Pull one up.
Oh my god, they feel exactly like tweets.
Yeah, we've got to see it
Let
now.
me pull this tab up.
He's just barking at the camera the way that you imagine the tweets. You know, it's hilarious. It's so weird.
So they all look like this.
Yes.
Is it all the same video? Like,
what the hell is the
oh my
same
God.
thumbnail?
You are so
This
bad.
is the same thumbnail, but no, it's like now he's a blue guy.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, let's
Fair dues.
check this one
A
out.
lot of
How?
consistency with those.
How? How do you do that?
Okay.
Fake news says I'm not.
Wait, why is it so low? Let me keep
It's
turning
47
the volume up here.
The fake news right out of the gates.
The fake news says I'm not trying very hard. I say they are stupid and corrupt. The election's a long ways away, almost 2 years. The beauty is
Why is he gasping
so
for
anymore.
What?
Yeah, my
Very,
man's
very
still-
weak. He's very low. Very
Fake
weak.
news.
Very weak.
Very weak. Very weak
Someone
audio.
pinching his
No
belly.
energy.
What's going
The
on?
giant rallies and other events soon. It will
Low
all be
audio
wild
Donald.
and exciting. We're gonna bring our country back.
Low audio, Donald.
and make America great again. And you are going to be the biggest.
Yeah,
part
but
of
if
it.
You it's funny. Ron DeSantis would totally come at Trump at a debate as like low audio Donald, and then Trump would just come back at him and go pedo Ron.
Oh, you're right.
That was funny.
Oh,
Seeing
my God.
Trump attach DeSantis to being a groomer.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? Oh, did you bring that
Throw
up?
in real quick. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm like, did I put this up? What the? I'm confused. Oh my God.
Wow.
Wait, we could do that. We could just all we could just take over. Ooh, I didn't know
I
that.
don't know how to take it down.
I think only me and Mike can. We have hosting abilities.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
You can
I
try
don't
if
know
you
how to
want.
remove it. I'm sorry, David.
Oh, here, let me. Here we go.
Okay. I'm like, I got it stuck on his face, hissing.
If you have hosting abilities in the leftist mafia, I guess that makes you a boss or a capo or whatever.
We're the mafia bosses.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
suppose.
Well earned.
Yeah, well earned. You're
That,
made a man.
that was very funny.
This is not a co-op. I own.
It's a
I'm in control.
strict authoritarian hierarchy in the leftist mafia.
Do we have the Ron DeSantis video of him response?
Oh, let me see if I can. I think I saved that link in my notes.
I thought of a name. If I was on the Trump writing team, I thought of a name for him to call DeSantis. You guys ready for this? Ron DeSadness. What do you think?
Here, I just dropped it in the chat. I just dropped it in the chat for
Oh,
you.
good, thank you. Ron DeSadness. I
would focus on his middle name
doesn't
being Dion. That's
I
my
like,
focus.
Yeah.
Hassan's
Ron
idea
Celine Dion.
No, the sanctimonious. We can't lose that.
Hassan's
Yeah,
idea is that Trump should call him Rhonda and like demasculate him basically, like
That's good.
Rhonda. Like, I
Rhonda.
think that's a good idea.
That's really good.
I think that's the way to go about it.
Yeah.
Can I
Let me
just
bring
say
up this
really quick?
Ron DeSantis clip.
When I saw that Trump had called Ron DeSantis a groomer, I literally stood up and said, yes! Just because this motherfucker is single-handedly spearheaded this whole groomer campaign against LGBTQ plus people. So the shot in front
And he did it in front of diapers. He did it in front of diapers.
Who would have
Aesthetically,
thought that?
this
Who
is a
would've thought?
terrible choice.
Yeah, I
No.
thought that would have backfired, you know?
So I guess the quick backstory to this is that Trump on Truth Social posted a truth, is it called, of Ron DeSantis when he was a teacher, picture with some of his students who I guess were under
when he was a
drinking age.
When he was a
at
teacher,
party.
he would go party with students. That is so fucking weird. No matter how you,
That's a big no
That
right
is
there.
that's a massive yikes. Massive
Creepy Rhonda. They call him Creepy Rhonda.
That's how you do it. All right, and so I guess this is Rhonda's response.
I spend my time delivering results for the people of Florida and fighting against Joe Biden. That's how I spend my time.
Fighting against the president. You spend your time fighting against the president. That's what we want in the politician, fighting against the president.
Right.
I don't spend my time trying to smear other Republicans.
Very weak. Very weak.
Very
Nope.
weak. Low energy.
He's gonna get steamrolled by Trump.
Yeah, that's not how you have to go. You have to go for the jugular when it's Trump.
My-
you have to
my-
actually
my-
fight and show that you're the bigger man. Otherwise, you lose this race.
Yep.
my standing around, my being surrounded by mountains of Pampers diapers has a lot of people asking about my status as a pedo groomer.
Did you see the Trump comments? Like the MAGA comments were like, homie is literally standing in front of naked children on screen right now. And I was like, that's intense. That is so intense. That's aggressive for them to say that.
Also, I got to point out, I'm pretty sure those are boxes of gas stoves behind him.
I think so.
Stop. Are you serious?
Yeah, pull it up. I don't speak French or whatever language is on the box, but I'm pretty sure those are boxes for gas stoves.
Doesn't Florida have like one of the lowest uptakes of gas stoves? It's mostly electric there.
Yes. Yeah. It's not an issue there.
Hange Cuisinier is.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but I don't know what Estouffade Cuisinier is. Just. This is not French.
Chat.
I don't
Anyone able to translate?
Oh, I'm doing it in real time.
There's also a basketball hoop to the left. Do you see that? A Fisher Price?
Fisher Price.
Hoop?
Yeah.
Spanish.
What is going on here?
It is electrical stove in Spanish.
It is.
Gas stoves. Gas stoves.
Gas stoves. Yeah.
Okay. Man, what
Sorry,
he
gas
is he is like a grandstander and very sanctimonious. Yeah.
Accurate.
Yeah, hoarding all those diapers. That's pretty sanctimonious. It's a weird set design. Bunch of stoves and diapers. It's kind of weird.
Listen, I know a lot of Republicans think the Democrats cook and eat babies and groom small children. I'm just standing in front of these gas stoves and around these diapers to say, I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. I swear to you, I'm not luring children in with these mountains of diapers and then throwing them into these stoves and cooking them up and eating them. I swear to you, that's not me.
Oh my God. How about how about Ron de Groomer? You know, you could just go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Trump's
There
gonna
you
start
go.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need RM's soundboard when we discuss Trump.
I
and
know.
DeSantis, for
I wish
sure.
there was a way to feed it through.
I agree.
That'd be the best.
God.
I got some sounds, but mine suck.
That makes national sense.
Hear that one?
Oh wait, I think I got a new Trump. I got a new Trump name for Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis.
Okay.
Adrenoram. Adrenoron. Maybe workshop it a bit.
That's pretty good.
There we go.
Ron de Jock Itch, Snack Panther says. That's a good recommendation. Ron de Satan from Lizzie Bennett. That's a great one too. There's so much potential. I feel like he shouldn't have settled on Ron de Sanctimonious. Like there's so much opportunities here.
He's got to change it, right? He's not going to sit on that.
It's just not that good. It doesn't slap
it
like
doesn't
Crooked
catch.
Hillary or Sleepy Joe.
Yeah.
Ron DeSam Smith. Maybe Ron DeSam Smith.
He's doing his devil dances at the Grammys. He's got a beautiful voice.
RM Brown, since you're our guest here, what have you been covering this week? What's in your world? What kind of wackiness has been going on?
I was gonna tell you guys, I found a funny Tim Pool clip that I thought you guys might like. I can't like play it or anything, but I don't know if you guys saw this, but he went to he basically went to Congress. Tim Pool went to Congress.
Oh, we were just watching a video of that before, but you might have a different video.
Clip.
Yeah.
No, yeah, okay. There's some funny stuff in there. Where he's talking to Lauren Boebert for a while, then he talks to Matt Gaetz. It's just like, it's actually pretty boring. But there is a couple funny parts where I never heard this, but this was apparently like a right-wing thing that they were like, the eviction moratorium violates the Third Amendment. Have you guys heard this thing? It's really
not.
Okay. So the Third Amendment is basically like it was basically like the British Empire sending over soldiers, and they kind of like would say, hey, they passed a law basically like you have to house these soldiers, right? So then the colonists, basically, the Third Amendment is like you can't do that. You can't.
No soldier shall, in a time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Obviously, this was the quartering of soldiers in houses was a very important issue at the time. They decided to make it the Third fucking Amendment.
Yeah, the Third Amendment, and it's kind of a joke. The Third Amendment is sort of a joke among lawyers because it's like it's never used in anything, but there was apparently this like right-wing meme for a while where the eviction moratorium was against the Third Amendment because an American member of the armed forces could be renting an apartment, and if you can't kick them out, then they're forcing you to quarter a member of the military. Like, it's the biggest stretch I've ever heard, and I was like, holy shit, that is literally maybe the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, every time I watch Tim Pool, it's like the new stupidest thing I've ever heard. And there's a couple of those in that.
Oh, we're talking Tim Pool. I didn't know.
Yeah. That's
the mental gymnastics that they'll use just to fuck over poor people.
That's what it is. That's what it.
I mean,
yeah. Any kind of excuse to like, oh no, we should be able to kick out people during a pandemic when they're renting an apartment. It's like, good God, like the lengths they'll go to be horrible.
I'm amazed by his ability to continue to pretend that he's not right wing. Like, does he still pretend he's not a conservative?
He says he's authentic. Yeah.
I think
you know who's Civil War right now.
Speaking of people who got paid to be on Rumble, Glenn Greenwald still kind of does that. He's still kind of like,
oh yeah, he's got Marjorie Taylor Greene going on the show right now. It's amazing. He's doing basically like a press release, I guess, for her. I like the same shit he did with Alex Jones, where it's like, hey, by the way, Alex Jones, a lot of people really know you from all the Sandy Hook stuff, but are you actually the greatest person to ever live? And then Alex Jones was like, yes, I am. He's doing the same thing with Marjorie Taylor Greene right now. Where it's like exact, verbatim. Once again.
Oh yeah. Same.
Which is like it's wild. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's downplaying all of the wildest things she's ever done. And I'm sitting there, okay, like, to be fair, that last part was hyperbole. It's not verbatim what they do or say, but he was actually trying to pacify people on the concept of, I said Jewish space lasers. That's not true. It's a complete fabrication. It's a lie in the media. And you're like, yeah, you said the Rothschilds multiple times. So, okay, that's called a dog whistle. I'll give you that. But you say it multiple. I'm like, and it's an essay. It's not just like you just typed out like the California wildfires were caused by Jewish space lasers. It's just like, fan fiction, straight up fan fiction, and like, here's how they got the power to build the lasers and all this kind of stuff.
And
like,
you could even if you want to remove the anti-Semitism, space lasers caused climate change forest fires. Like what? What is going on here? That's okay to say.
I like the idea. I like the idea of like, okay, the space laser part. There's something there,
Yeah, you got to stop with the anti-Semitism.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, climate change isn't real.
There's a part in that interview where Marjorie Taylor Greene starts going into the Ilhan Omar married her brother thing. And Glenn,
oh my God.
This is the thing about Glenn Greenwald that's so funny is anybody who's kind of, sort of left, he'll like go after relentlessly. But if you say something like that, like Marjorie Taylor Greene is like, oh, Ilhan Omar married her brother. He's like, well, there's some due process on that. He's like he's so soft gloves, like the softest gloves with that stuff. But anybody on the left,
listen, what is a brother? Really, what is
define brother, Marjorie? Come on.
I just love how it's kind of like similar with Jimmy Dore, right? where Jimmy Dore will find it, like he'll bend over backwards to try to find ways to make Marjorie Greene seem reasonable. Oh, look, she's anti-war, but he would never extend that same level of charitability to AOC, someone who claims would be on his side ideologically, right?
He's like, she's out lefting AOC. Look at this. She's on the other side. And you're like, no, she's not. The tweets you have up on screen, it's all factually incorrect. It's like ivermectin cures COVID. I was right. No, everything has been disproven on the list of things she has. It's wild.
That is literally Jimmy Dore's strategy for every single topic. Like the media, Alex Jones knows more than CNN. The left, this person, Marjorie Taylor Greene is more left wing than AOC. Or like, I don't know, Trump is more left wing, or Biden is further right wing than Trump is. Like all this, it's always just like, he attempts to like flip your world, but it's all so nonsensical.
Right?
There's an entire conglomerate of them that all they do is like anoint themselves like the kings of the leftist space, while literally everything they do is try to reason in a good faith basis into the right all day. They speak about talking points, only things to the right. They like dole out litmus tests for all the actual other people accusing and condemning all the you're not left in us or you're a liberal or blah blah blah. Meanwhile, all they do is pander to the right. Their entire audience is right wing, and you know it because anytime they even tangentially engage with anybody left or anything left, their fucking audience loses it. But anyway, child,
instantaneously,
absolutely.
You see it in the comments. It just like it pops off right away. When all of a sudden they were talking about border issues, you just saw all the comments were like, "Oh, why are you bringing this up?" Blah blah blah. This person on horseback wasn't using a whip. That's exaggerated. That was actually and you're like, "Oh my god, now I see it." Okay, now it's all laid out in front of you. Your whole audience is right wing.
Yeah, I just love how in 2021, I think it was, Jimmy Dore randomly decided to be reasonable, and he talked about CRT in a joking way. That was like one of his comedy segments, where Mike did some the dude who does impressions called in as like Vince Vaughn or some shit. I don't remember, but Jimmy Dore was saying like, "Oh yeah, well actually CRT is a legal philosophy," and he like defended it in a way, even if it was jokingly. Though his audience whipped him a new asshole. It was like we could still see dislikes. It was the majority dislikes and all of the comments. I usually like you, Jimmy, but I'm not with you on this. Because he didn't
joke police now.
Here, which was
I'll decide what's funny.
Yeah, he didn't get the memo. Like, wait, didn't he get the propaganda memo that we're all supposed to be CRT bad, Sesame Street canceled? Like, did you not get the new talking points? They just updated on Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder with you because I looked up Jimmy Dore's house. You know, like what does Jimmy Dore's house look like? And I wonder what you guys think. Like,
oh, it's a very big. He just bought a nice, sweet little compound.
Very nice house. And I always wonder, not to psychoanalyze or whatever, but like, if I lived in that house, would I look around? And I'd be like, oh, like that bullshitting bought that front door. You know what I mean? Like, would it start to close in
That's
on
how I
you?
got the Bugatti.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would bother me a little bit. Yeah.
They don't care. They're unprincipled.
Yeah.
These people are sick. Yeah.
That's why all they do, honestly, they talk more. I have noticed it so deeply because sometimes I'll be like, am I not paying attention or something? Do I not know what's going on or whatever? Like someone commented one time, they were like, my favorite running gag is Olay not knowing what's happening in the world. I'm like, is it me who don't know what's happening or is it them? Like, they're only, I'm like, oh, all they ever talk about is what other people are talking about, just criticizing, other viewpoints of people that are allegedly on their side of the aisle. But they don't, and the reason they do that is because if they had to just actually talk about what they believe, some issues, some agenda or something, they don't have much to say. That's why they say like one little thing they think is so super fucking compelling, and then they use it as like this like argument, this like policy argument against the rest of us forever. They don't be talking about shit because they don't care about nothing. They just trying to catch a check, so they feed off other people's engagement. Like, you said a thing, I disagree. Oh, okay. Yep. Oh, you do? Oh, okay. Yeah. Hot take, plot twist.
I mean, as little as we are, like we're all public figures, but I mean, comparatively speaking, like we're nobody compared to like these right wingers or celebrities. But like our names at this level is clickbait for so many motherfuckers,
which is so wild to me. Like I come across thumbnails that people like post on Twitter. I'm like, I'm in this thumbnail, like. Who the fuck? Like, I got like 20,000 views. Like, that's nothing. What the fuck did I do?
I saw one with you and me in the thumbnail.
It's so ridiculous,
David. The premise was
like
some shit libby thing we said.
Yeah, like if they're doing videos on like a video of mine that got like 30,000 views. What are they're getting like what 2,000? Like it's like what is this game? Like go after someone like fine, like attack me. I don't give a shit. It's funny to me because I don't even
love it.
I don't feel like I'm important. So it makes me feel important actually.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm a Leo, so all you do is feed my ego. In my mind, I'm like, you saved my picture on your computer and then took the time to get a little program.
They use good pictures too, by the way. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
good.
Talking about me, like I saw the day. That's how I felt when I saw Fox News did a op-ed on my op-ed for TV.
Really?
Fox News did an op-ed, yeah, just like literally. My daddy like responded. He was like, they basically just sarcastically restated all your points. Like they're like, this person is arguing that racism is systemic, right? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. And I seen that and I was like, oh, this made me mad. But honestly, my ego, I'm like, bro, look at you, like put a little thing. I'm like, I wrote a thing yesterday because it goes into writing and like getting something pitched. So I wrote something yesterday, it dropped yesterday, and you went and immediately in a little huff went and got permission to go write a thing. You sat at your computer, mad about what I wrote, and then you put out a thing like my thoughts about what she said. I was like, oh, baby, I live in your mind rent free. I'm important. I was like, my op-ed is doing so well. Like, I was like, wow, look at the numbers, the engagement. Fox News is mad.
Oh, I want to at least read the headline. I found the Fox News piece.
You found
this
it?
Is
your Teen Vogue article was great, by the way.
It was so fucking good.
Yeah.
This the one? Teen Vogue op-ed argues black officers are oppressors. So they just, I guess.
Yep.
It's so funny that wow. I'm actually surprised there wasn't, or was there like media like TV coverage?
No, did y'all notice? Please notice that it's listed under critical race theory.
Oh my god!
Stop.
Of course, America,
Officially, y'all, I am peddling critical race theory.
Sociology is critical race theory always. Systemic racism, institutional racism, all CRT, all of it, all the time. Oh man,
they just quote you from large blocks. Like what?
Yeah.
Like he kept putting things in air, like quotations, like I was the first person to coin this shit. Like Olurin went on to say that the act of policing in itself is racist. Yes,
yeah.
Bro.
Like, I'm trying to find their argument here, but they're just like, "Here's what she said," and like,
right, because they're just saying it was sarcasm.
How dare she?
They're just like, "Can you fucking believe this bitch said that shit? She really said that." She went on to say
this is like a big quote. She continued. Another big quote.
Yes, he's mad as hell.
She also quoted, oh my goodness.
Like, that's how you know a bitch was spitting though. He was mad as hell, but couldn't rebut it at all. Do you like that though? Do you like that? As mad as they were to put that out, they could not rebut a single motherfucking thing, just an attitude. And that's
that is pathetic. I think that's the word.
That's so funny. They really did just quote the whole article.
Yes, because
and then she said this, and then she had the audacity to say this right afterwards.
That's the whole thing. Oh my god!
Look at that quote, that paragraph.
Yeah,
here's another quote. Yo, this is cheating on your fucking essay. That's what this is. When you just fucking copy paste the whole time, double font, double space, just to fill shit up. Like that's what this is.
If anything, this helps you. It's like this gets your message out to the Fox News audience.
Oh yeah,
exactly. At least they're reading. At least they're reading it.
I was like, listen, I got my shit off. This is an excellent. Honestly, this is one of my best pieces. So I was like,
it was a great piece. I read it. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you, y'all. Yeah, no, I was like, okay. But I will say this, and this is an important thing and a hypocrisy about written media. This is what annoys me. The reason why they can't rebut it is because they do not let my black ass say anything that I do not have citation to death. You know what I mean? I can't say shit. Like when I say to you everything, they'll be like, if I say, they're like, do you have a stat for that? Like just to write an op-ed. Meanwhile, they can put out whatever peddling bullshit, nonsense, lies, just call it whatever they want, just do whatever they want. And that's the reason why they can't rebut it, because everything that I put out has to be cited to death. So as much as they will try, they'll be on YouTube like, oh, misinformation, they're trying to pretend. No, a girl is never lying. They don't let me lie, baby. I have to come with the facts. They do not let me say shit. That's why he had a whole attitude for a whole piece. Nigga couldn't say nothing. couldn't say shit but quote me with an attitude. Okay, thank you, love that.
There is like a level of like what's acceptable in like public discourse, and it goes, all of what they say goes unquestioned because it's been said a million times before, and even though it's challenged and proven wrong, they keep saying it because that's just the that's the status quo. That's what they think. But yeah, that your fact check, because what you're bringing is actual reality that rarely gets heard in on large platforms. So they have to they feel the need to like have to make sure you have all of the data lined up. Otherwise, they won't let you do it. That's crazy.
Exactly. They'd be like, like I swear the fact checking from like main publications is just a white person doing a vibe check. Like, I don't like. I swear to you, it don't have nothing to do with be there citation. They'd be like, I just don't like how that feels. What do you mean like that? They were like, when you say we, I was hoping you had meant, earlier I was trying to envision everybody, but I'm getting the impression you mean a different we. Who we do you mean? Me replies in the comments, Black people, I am Black. I mean that is the we. Like maybe said I be in the comments like no, I meant that Black ass thing right there. That was what I meant. They're like, oh, do you have to say Black? Yes. Uh-huh. Yes, I do. It is very important that you leave that in there. Thank you. And it must say, but it'd be funny. They'd be in the comments like, I don't even really watch Law and Order, but it does other stuff, right? Like people can enjoy it. They'd be like, or they'll be in the comments and they'll say, they'll be like, is it all? I don't feel like we should say white America because like we don't know the percentages. Unlike the white people that feel that way. Oh my God. We don't want to do that to like all the white people. Like, oh, that's really what the fact checker does. I mean, they're like,
wow,
Miss Mama, like, come on, Miss. Let's just go ahead and publish my shit. Like, thank you.
That was a dub for you, though. The fact that the article was so good and Fox News decided to make an article that's 75% you, 25% them, if even, it's just such a win for you. Like that's such a win. They're riding your coattails now. That's
I was like, oh, my op-ed did really well. Wow, they saw that and were mad. They put that up the next day. Excellent. Thank you. Good.
That's a dub.
Thank you, y'all.
Anytime our names are used for clickbait, I take that as a dub. They can shit on me all they want. You're like giving me clout, giving me relevance. I love it. I appreciate it.
I get it. So what else you got going on, RM?
I want to get in Teen Vogue. What would be a good Teen Vogue article?
They've
really good.
Do they do?
Shockingly good.
They do. Yeah, they do. They publish good stuff.
Teen Vogue has just been so
they
amazing
do
these
actually.
last couple of years.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember those magazines. Well, it was probably like 17 magazine. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. But like they used to publish the embarrassing stories. Am I right on that? Do you guys remember that?
I remember 17, but I can't remember specifically like what they. I know it's like celebrity gossip stuff.
It's the boy band, isn't it? It's like a boy band.
Yeah, like that kind, like Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake stuff. I'm dating myself, but in that realm,
Backstreet Boys, NSYNC,
the good stuff.
It's cool that those magazines or those like websites probably now have kind of like evolved into publishing like meaningful stuff. It used to be just kind of like embarrassing stories. Oh, Justin Timberlake.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Was like Teen Vogue silly back in the day, but now it's like super based.
I think
I don't know. They like Teen Vogue,
like Mike Lee.
Teen Vogue.
Mike Lee.
What were you saying, boy?
No, I was at Teen Vogue lets me get my shit off. I feel like Teen Vogue of all
That's
the
awesome.
To be surprised. I find that Teen Vogue is the most. I get the most radical of anything I'm gonna get off in mainstream media off at Teen Vogue.
Cool.
And I do, and obviously I kind of have an established relationship with them now because my first op-ed for them I think it's one of their highest engaged articles of all time.
Wow.
Nice.
That has helped them allow me to really get my shit off. But they let me get my shit off, honestly. I like come to them pretty much like the day before, like, can I say this? I have an op-ed. It's called Black Cops Are Still Cops. Let me say that? Like, you gonna let me say that? Like, yeah. Thank you. Like, they really let me do it. Like my whole last paragraph in that op-ed that I put out for them, it was from an essay I published on Illuminaughtii on my Substack called Being Black and Principled in White America. And basically everything in Illuminaughtii, I started Illuminaughtii so I could write and say all the things that I really want to say that white mainstream would never let me say. But if I have my own outlet, my own platform, and I prove that I have an audience and the pitchforks aren't there and I can get this off, I can eventually get away with saying this more. So that was the first, I took that paragraph right out of that. And the fact that I was able to get that off, I've come to a place they approved that got through. The white people fact checked it, oh, they're gut by their by. I was like, yes, I really got that off. That'd have been, he wouldn't have let me 3 years ago. They would not let me say that radical shit, a whole thing, hey, I want to make an example of you. Y'all see the consequences of cooning? Y'all, I straight up called aligning, being in the police department, aligning with your oppressors. And they let me get that off in Teen Vogue, I said. And they quoted it on NBC. I said, okay.
Did they really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did NBC. I did NBC. Y'all know I'd be around.
Yeah, you're crushing it.
You were in NBC or on the show?
I was on NBC
television?
last week. I was on NBC last week. Let me show you.
Yeah, you were on the show? Can we see the clip?
NBC. Y'all know I be places. Y'all don't know. I just be, I be forgetting to tell y'all. Y'all know I just.
Are you speaking about this stuff? Because I feel like I would have seen that.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I was on. I'll send it to y'all on Twitter. But yeah, I was
no
on.
Kidding.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Nice.
Look
at you.
Nice.
Yes, I am. Also, I am co-hosting Unbossed with Nina Turner.
Whoa! Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And also my episode with the Daily Zeitgeist dropped today. Y'all should listen to that episode. That's fun. Y'all know I be places. Olayemi keeps a job, Olurin. But yeah. I'm fried, so I don't remember what my original point is. It's the ball.
When are you co-hosting Unbossed?
March 14th.
Okay.
Yes,
okay,
March 14th. Yeah, so I am doing that. All the things, y'all know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've been on there a couple times myself, so
And I'm gonna be on Hassan's stream next month.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Right, so.
He books a month ahead of time. Holy shit.
Why would he books? If
Makes
he's
sense.
been told me and LOL overruled that we can go on anytime.
Okay.
And Alex is like, okay, so this is the time we chose. We're going to LA, so we're gonna go to LA and go be on it in person.
Oh, you're gonna be in person. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's
in
amazing.
person. So
awesome.
Yes,
Very cool.
doing stuff, being places. Y'all see face.
I'm gonna make a clip out of that.
Yeah, as you should.
I'm gonna do a Humanist Report segment. So you got to say something really good.
Yes, I shall.
Yeah, 100%.
I shall. Also, I want. By the way, y'all saw a Bender. Did you see the draft so far of Cartoon Us?
I did. It looks very cool. Yeah,
Isn't it great?
I like it a lot.
I don't know who's in charge of this. I want hoodies. I feel like we should have merchandise because I want a hoodie.
Oh yeah,
I would love that.
I deeply want it. Also, there's a colored version. It's gonna be done tomorrow. Because they're putting the background on it, but I'll send y'all it right now so y'all.
I'm excited.
I'm gonna send y'all right now what there is so far, so y'all can see it because y'all need to have the appropriate excitement because I really love this image.
I'm excited.
And I just want to say this was my idea. I just want to remind y'all of such good ideas.
For those of you who don't know, we have
Fair
like
enough.
a cartoon
Take credit.
sketch of all of us. So we're getting more like professional, like we're getting fucking not necessarily merch, but like I don't know.
David
Like
Dole is going to have a background soon. We're going to green screen him into
One of these
something
days.
else.
Animated. You should show them. Look in our group chat. I sent it to y'all.
In the private chat? Let me see.
Yeah, in our group, in our DMs, our Twitter DMs.
Oh, okay.
That looks cool.
Show them if they want to see. So
The colored version is very cool. I gotta say, when I first went on a quick look of the one that's in black and white, it looked like that was your hand in front of me, like you were like Olay was touching my chest. I was like, what? I was like, this.
I thought the same thing. I'll be honest. I thought the same thing.
I was checking for you.
That's really cool.
That's so cool.
But in the black and white one that came before that, you'll see what I'm talking about.
We're gonna get a colored background. The background is gonna be fire, so it'll be done tomorrow. Isn't it amazing? I love it. I really love Cartoon Me.
They got my arm hair down perfectly.
Yeah. And David has a leftist mafia mug.
Yes.
Oh, hey,
There's a
we should
blonde
get
version.
kill to
Hold
get
on,
mugs.
your girl changes. Hold on, let me just send y'all for accuracy. Please show them the other one too. There's a blonde version, but I decided to go with the red because I feel like my red locks are my staple look. But for accuracy to present time, you can click the blonde one and show them I just sent it to our DM. You can show them the blonde one.
Very
So
nice.
they can-
While I bring this up, should we do cancel uncancel?
Yes.
Mike looks like Walsh. Federico, I know, but like the better version, right? He's Mike Figueredo that you order from wish.com.
RM Brown, is there anyone that you would like to cancel or uncancel that is currently canceled, or that you would like to uncancel or cancel? I can't remember the first one already. I forgot.
I think Kanye West has had enough canceling. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, whoa.
Just kidding. I don't know who should be canceled. Who should be canceled
Or uncanceled? If there's someone you think is unfairly canceled.
Unfairly canceled.
Harry Styles unfairly canceled.
Fuck no.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was gonna say
comedy. That's bringing it back to the start. That was good. Yeah,
I was gonna say
a comedic trick. What David just did. Yeah,
I was actually gonna say cancel Beyonce. That's
wow. You were both bringing it back. Yeah, both of you were bringing it back to the start. Get on you.
Let's get her away.
In stand up,
You're gonna get the whole fucking podcast canceled with that.
You both did a callback. It's great.
I say we uncancel Fox News for publishing that wonderful article by Olay.
Actually a good one. Temporarily uncanceled for that fantastic piece they wrote that you wrote.
For them, apparently. Yes.
My daddy was like, they're just restating your points. They didn't say
He's right. That's all that was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cancel.
We're also uncanceling Blair Illuminati next week, maybe. Well, we should say that because she will be back next week, so she's officially uncanceled.
Blair's missed mad episodes. Blair's out here making the whole white women camp look like they don't show up.
That's good. That'll be the debative topic next week.
Blair's missed 8 out of 10 episodes.
So I say we cancel J.K. Rowling. No, didn't we do that like 3 weeks in a row? J.K. Rowling canceled.
Why not do it? Who cares? I'll cancel.
I want to cancel Kate Blanchett actually because I watched that. I watched that movie.
I'm here for this.
I watched that movie. Tar. It's a little boring, so canceled. She's canceled.
I was gonna say the message of that movie is kind of like ridiculous. It's kind of like, hey, cancel culture is a real thing. It can happen to anybody. But should we take a stand or a position on this? And I thought she was the only good part about it because I was like, she was actually like, it was a good performance. I was like, she was the only like, yeah. But I agree. I agree with the sentencing. For no reason other than what was the point?
What's
take
the
a position.
Yeah.
What's the synopsis on this movie, just so people know what Tar is about?
I watched until basically the very end. I still haven't finished it. This is how stupid it is. I paid.
The ending was pretty important.
The ending was important. Oh, goddamn shit. So I rented
premature
it.
Cancellation.
This is what happened. I rented it on Amazon, and it's like whatever. It's $6 to rent it, and then I was like, that's kind of boring. I waited, and then it ran out. So if I want to see the end, I have to pay the $6 again. So I was like,
oh my god.
Wait, what movie is this again?
Tar.
Yeah. It's on. They just added it to HBO Max or something, I think.
Oh shit! Doesn't the new season of You come out at midnight?
I don't watch that show.
Excuse me, what is wrong with y'all, bro?
The Last of Us is going. Don't forget, The Last of Us is going up tomorrow, which might be midnight because of the Super Bowl.
Didn't we
I don't
say-
have emotions. I don't have any emotions.
Didn't I say we should pick a show for us all to watch together so we can?
I like that idea a lot, Olay.
Can we watch The Last of Us? Because I love that show.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
That zombie shit. How many episodes are there already?
There's very few zombies. It's mostly just about the human experience and love and story and living. And it's the third episode is so beautiful though. It really is. Olay, you'll love it. It's one of the greatest love stories I've ever seen on TV.
I wanted to talk to you so much, but I so love Lance's joy, like the Leo.
Dude, I promise you. The third episode. We could just watch it independently. We could do a live watching of it.
My
screening.
My
It's
one
so good.
complaint about that is that it was like one episode too soon. We needed another episode with
How
just
many episodes so far? If I gotta go watch this, are y'all all watching?
the 5th episode drops tomorrow, so you'd only be 4 behind.
I was waiting to watch it until they were all finished because I hate watching seasons that are incomplete.
Even attractive.
That's the best way. I hate binge watching. You gotta
I
watch.
can only binge watch.
That's why Game of Thrones was so big, and that's why all those shows that do it weekly, like a week are so big. The binge watching shows completely blow their load all at once.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Is there?
It's a fair point.
Is there anybody attractive in the show for me to watch? I don't.
Pedro Pascal.
The internet's daddy.
Wait.
I will be your champion from Game of Thrones. Come on.
Yeah.
Oberlin.
Yeah, he's the Viper.
I feel like he probably looked dirty in a zombie world, though.
He's
I
a bisexual legend. Come on, he's unreal in that show. It made so many people. I'll be honest. It made a lot of men question themselves. They were like, "Oh shit, yeah, this is
that the
not a
only
bad deal. I like this."
Is that all they have for me?
No, there's more. There's
monsters. I feel like those.
Because I'm
familiar with the story.
Like
you will love it. It is such good television. Honestly, it really is.
It's fun. Like
I'm gonna watch
I actually haven't watched it yet because I beat the games. So like I was questioning, do I need to watch the show if it's exactly the same story?
But have you watched it?
No.
Oh my God, David, watch it.
The games.
It's so good. I know, so did I. And I love the games. And it was one of those things where like I wanted to be able to give people who don't play video games that story. Because you know how you can be like, watch this movie, read this book, listen to this song. With video games, it's like play 60+ hours to finish this. And so you can't really like, it's that good though.
We should ask
David's.
We watch that. Like, what show we should watch that they will be okay with weekly commentary about.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
There's always going to be people that haven't watched anything.
Like, y'all should tell us. Y'all should tweet at us something. And
I will say, like, this is I'm not sure if any of you have this issue, but I have a real problem now watching anything that's like dramatic and depressing and about the end of the world because it feels like my job is covering real life shit, and so when I watch a show that's depressing, it's like, do I really want to get into
that ass?
Third episode is not depressing. It's beautiful.
Like
the third episode gives you faith in humanity. It truly.
I don't know faith
you will love it.
Humanity, bro. First of all,
it'll restore it. It'll melt all icy hearts. I promise this.
I've dealt with this world. First of all, like, give me a fucking break. I'm dealing with this world in the pandemic. These motherfuckers won't even wear a mask to save their fucking life. You think they out here running around fighting zombies and shit? Get the fuck out of here, bro. We're
gonna watch the third episode together live. Okay,
no,
we're gonna do it. I want to see the audience reaction.
Right, like a toilet paper.
Say this now.
No,
it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
I want to watch, like, y'all know, like, I want eye candy, which is why I have never seen Creed 1 or 2, but I damn sure I'm going to see Creed 3.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of eye candy.
Listen,
wait, you were worried about catching up to a TV show where you missed like 2 or 3 45-minute episodes, but you're fine starting at number 3 of a movie?
Clearly, see, I keep in there that you are not familiar with priorities. Let me tell you about I said nothing about catching up on 1 or 2. I said I'm going to see Creed 3 because
that's what I mean.
That plot looks riveting, and that plot looks like Jonathan Majors. Baby, I am there to look. I'm here to look, baby. Okay, I'm here to enjoy myself. I don't give a fuck what Like, let me see that man. You see how good he looks? There's no reason for that man to be that fine. Like, what you talking about? Fine, make your heart race. Every time I see a photo shoot of Jonathan Majors, I'd be like, you know what? Jesus might be a thing. I could see it. Like, I could see how Jesus would have to be intervening. Like, he would have to be involved. You see this man? He's so fine. Listen,
He's gorgeous.
There was a tweet when the Ebony magazine photo shoot dropped. Somebody was like, I'm giggling because I know the Ebony magazine people were setting up this photo shoot like, the hoes gonna love this. It's me. I'm the host. I'm the host. Because I saw that and I was like, I'm going to save every picture. Like, what you talking about? In fact, let me show y'all. Hold on, just so you know I'm not bullshitting. Like, what you talking about? What he's so fine for? Look at that. Like, what? Like, ooh, you just don't look like this off the casual.
Why would you watch a show for that? Just look at pictures. Like, you don't have to watch a whole movie.
Listen, you're not gonna sit up here and act holier than thou. I know there's something you watch where it's just you're not above me, David. Like,
if I'm in that kind of mood, I watch a 3-hour movie. I tell you that. Like, I'm gonna go look at It takes me 5 minutes. I'm good.
What about the plot?
I have to come back to that. Oh, you got me there. Oh. Okay. What do y'all want to watch?
Let's watch Big Brother Canada season 11. Okay.
Oh my God! What?
Why Big Brother Canada? What's that?
It's better than the American one.
Cancel Big
It's the
Brother
most
Canada.
obscure thing I've heard
Except
in
for
my
the
life.
last 2 American seasons.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
Wait,
I'm joking, unless
we never discussed who's getting canceled. Who's getting canceled?
Oh yeah,
Or
who's getting
uncanceled?
canceled?
I can't
the
remember.
Grammys.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
What'd he do?
Why Dr. Dre?
Domestic
Dre is a
abuse,
menace
physical
to
abuse.
society.
Yeah.
He's a menace.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
long,
yeah, I
long
guess that's-
documented history of physical and domestic
I
abuse.
can't
Yeah,
argue with
Also,
that.
like getting away with it, having a persona that's been covering up for a long time.
Listen,
Okay, that's fair.
Listen, I ever tell y'all I love Lance. Thank you, Lance. You listen, you do your you do your part as the white man on the council. Thank you, Lance. Reference to Lance.
I'm the whitest.
Lance said, let me tell you a little bit about his rap sheet. I'll get you up to speed. Thank you, Lance. And you saw at the Grammys, they went and created a new award to honor him, and it's just way too much reverence, I think, given to him. I will acknowledge the man as an icon in terms of his musical contributions, but he is way too I think he is way too foul in terms of what he has done for us to give him so much reverence and extra honor. Knowing it's just something about it ain't sit right. Looking at all these women get up and like look at him in awe and clapping for this man that has abused so many women, not taking care of his children. Like Dr. Dre is real trifling, like real fucking trifling. And
Well,
I'm just
Chris Brown is still out there too. Wasn't he complaining?
Can I put
about
this
something the
comment
other
up
day?
real quick? This man.
yeah, I forgot about Dre. Yeah.
That's gotta be a typo. That's gotta be a typo. That's gotta be a typo. You're too excited.
Forgot about Dore.
Gotta be a typo.
Original.
I forgot about Motherfuckers were not supposed to forget, but you did.
I'm crying. That shit is so
Also,
good.
that song is a banger, just for the record.
Forgot about Dore.
Dr. Dore.
Dr. Dore.
Someone asked what I'm watching since I don't watch depressing shit. White Lotus that was just on. 2 seasons.
How was White
Good show.
Lotus? I've never gotten
Season
into
2
it.
is good.
It's good. It's fun. It's fun. It's good.
Okay.
I watched an episode. It was all right.
Succession also good. That's come back.
Succession rules. I can't wait for the next
Yeah,
Succession.
I like seeing rich people tear each other apart. That's a fun one.
Yeah, and there's something like what I
Mike still listening.
with Dr. Dore.
Still DEI.
I don't know why it's so triggering to me. I'm dying. I'm like literally crying.
It would be Dare. Wouldn't it be Dare?
When does I'm probably most excited about the new Succession. That's like the last show that I really got.
I think it's next month.
Oh hell yeah! Okay.
A trailer for it, so it's coming soon.
I
Yeah, like those are shows I can get into because they're still dramas, but they're not like depressing.
and none of you have watched You. Y'all don't watch You.
What's You? Yeah,
I'm
what I
caught
get
up on
to.
Abbott Elementary, and it's amazing.
The only reason I know about You is because when I type in YouTube, sometimes I press enter too early, and then I get You, and it's like, oh, this is a TV show. That's the only reason I know that show even exists.
Why have y'all never seen any of the white shit that I watched as incredibly popular? What is wrong? It doesn't make sense. I'm out there. So many
Laura
of you.
Ingram. Laura Ingram has watched You. I know that because I saw a clip when they were talking. She was talking about with a guest. A Fox News.
What about You? Okay.
I can't watch it now.
And y'all definitely don't watch Riches or Harlem or oh my god, this is gonna be so hard for us to find a show that all of us can watch.
You. Let me see. Let's see who's in
Have
that.
you guys ever heard of Survivor?
I thought okay, I know.
What's that?
Do you just watch reality TV, Mike?
I hate Survivor.
I don't actually.
I went on a date with a guy who was obsessed with getting on Survivor. Like it's literally his life.
Really?
Oh my god, I fucking hate Survivor and him. It was terrible.
Oh my god.
This is the first date he brought this up?
Bro, he's obsessed with Survivor.
On the first date, he mentioned
I feel like
Survivor.
you don't bring that one up the first date.
So many dates, bro. Yes, off rip. You think I keep seeing this?
Oh my god.
Bro, with Survivor. Like, terrible, obsessed with Survivor. You know what it is for your live stream to be able to get on Survivor?
Yeah, that's a
You can't
weird. That's a
fucking do it.
weird goal.
And you can't do it? That's your
Yeah.
goal, and you ain't done it?
You
Oh
think
my
right now, when like no one even watches the show anymore, that you'd be able to get on pretty easily?
Bro.
If you really care that much to get on.
Because he was very whack. We ended up like, honestly, he was very like, he was a nice person, but he was nice, but he really genuinely, very few people in the world, I find this out, but they just annoy. He genuinely just annoyed the shit out of me. Like, I just thought he was really annoying. It would bring out the mean in me. Like, I feel the same energy, like when I'm around like children and I know I'm not enjoying this, but I have to do it. Like, you know what I mean? I have to be nice, but my spirit is like,
Yeah, that's a big like red flag as somebody wanting to be on Survivor as a
Bro.
life goal. That's like
Yeah.
that's
the
concerning.
friendship fell apart. Yeah, he got on my nerves on the wrong day, one day out of the week, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna lash out a little bit. I'll lash out a little bit.
He'd be the first one voted out if he ever gets on. It ain't happening, but if it did, he would be the first voted out. So he should give up that
100%.
dream.
I found somebody.
Robert. He sounds like someone who came of age 30 plus years ago. A casket came of age 30 years ago, like old. Read it. Y'all know I'm fried. Can y'all translate that text that in the comments?
I don't know what you're reading.
Oh, in our
read
comment it says, "Olay, hun, are you a casket robber?" He sounds like someone who came of age 30 plus years ago.
Yeah,
a casket
robber. Damn.
Wow.
Like, you think he's an old man? No.
Yeah, that's the implication. I would assume.
No, I've actually never had me an old nigga.
Like robbing the grave, basically.
No, he was like 30. He was like 30, 31, a regular loser, just a regular loser, just standard run of the mill,
Not too bad.
textbook loser, but nice, a nice person nonetheless,
Just a huge fucking loser, the biggest loser you ever meet. Good guy, but big fucking loser.
Yeah, piece of shit. Hope he's not watching.
Guys,
I idea how I give it up, how I'd be like so over shit. I'm not lying here. Y'all don't know how quickly my spirit be over men. Like, I swear to you, I saw this man 2 nights ago, and literally, as I leave his sight and I get out, I text him like, "Thank you for making the time. I'm no longer going to proceed with seeing you anymore." I don't be in the fucking mood. Like, oh, I hear bullshit. Like, I can assess things real quickly. Like, oh, this probably isn't going to be a useful waste of my. Like, I looked and I was in this. I'm like looking at this apartment and I'm like, this man is incredibly handsome, but something tells me that, the man I'm gonna marry wouldn't have commissioned a Kanye piece in 2023. Like, that does something. Something tells me that is not the man for me.
Damn.
I'm looking
Teeny
like
tiny bit of a red flag, just a little bit.
And then when I was trying to, when you're trying to have a reasonable,
Even a year and a half ago, it would have been within the realm of okay, like still suspicious, but not as bad.
It was big, and it was a big. It was a big piece. It was big as fuck. I'm like,
Weird.
And then when I try, you're trying to shoot somebody a little bit of bail, and you're trying, how you're trying to have the conversation. I'm like, I understand. Like, and the thing with the music, the problem is when people want to, take that over what you think is a genius musically and translate to all these other things which be problematic. And then he said, well, genius is different to everybody or something. And I was like, oh, this fucking nigga, okay. And he had spelled the word edible wrong in our text messages before. And I tried to overlook it because I was like, this is a handsome man, but he spelled editable, and it was never no asterisk correct.
I didn't know that was a thing. I'm learning right now.
No, he can't spell.
All right.
That's the thing. He really can't
So
spell.
men.
You said block him. I already blocked him. Y'all
Learn from this.
I am Olay, block a man, Olurin. What you talking about? Of course I blocked him. I mean, mind you, like I said, nothing wrong with the I was tacking this on to conversations about well-intentioned losers. You know what I mean? Very handsome man. Just had me a little bit fucked up. Like, just no way. No, very handsome. Very handsome, very good, nice smile, real fine, a real beautiful work of art. I mean, the man is fine, but the way, you know, I just
Bad
was
grammar
like,
though.
No, I just
That's a deal breaker.
Bad grammar's a deal breaker.
Yeah, no, and like I could probably deal with like a little bit, like I could deal with a little bit dumb if it's the appropriate level of like adoration for me. Like I'm not gonna hold you, I'm a Leo. Like you gotta love me up. Like I'm like, oh, you dealing with me a little bit, like you feel like you the prize, and that's a little bit fucking crazy. So allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm a bitch you don't know anymore. Goodbye. Toodaloo. This was nice knowing you, but you have me fucked up. I'm like, oh, okay.
He doesn't watch, right?
You know,
who fucking cares?
Good point. Good point.
You should check out my show.
Yeah, we gotta be careful. Yeah.
If he does watch, he likes me more than I thought he did, and then we can recalibrate the conversation. But I don't
That's
think
true.
so. Yeah, but
true.
no, I do not think so.
It's free advice. Improve upon it.
It
Yeah.
sounds like
You called him handsome.
Yeah, call him handsome. He knows he's fine now, so that's so that you know. Don't let it go to your head though.
All my niggas is handsome.
Let's get RM in here. He's been trying to jump in for a bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot what I was gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I've done that like 6 times.
I had something. Yeah, I forgot.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
okay, fair enough. We're having too much fun as usual.
I'm just getting tired, man. It's loaded me up.
Same. No, same. I feel you.
Yeah, and to everybody watching, don't forget about Dore. You know what I mean? Don't forget.
It was Dare, I think. Right?
I didn't realize. I didn't realize this.
I read Dare.
RM doesn't see this.
Dare?
RM doesn't see this because it's in the private chat on StreamYard. But speaking
You might
of,
see it. I think we'll see it.
Speaking of Dore, well, the private chat before he jumped in,
Oh, okay.
Lance messaged in the chat that RM Brown was waiting, but for some reason he typed, "Is
I
that
saw
your?
that.
Is that your? That's not your name, is it, RM Brown? Is that your name?"
Where? I
That's-
don't see it. I'm not seeing it.
ARUN.
That's what.
Aaron?
Oh,
Didn't
Arun.
Pacman call you that or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Arun Brown.
There's
So
a
wait,
video.
what's the
No, no,
story to that?
So-
I've heard,
okay.
I've heard that
Yes.
sound drop.
Somebody left a voicemail message where they're saying, "Hey, you know, something about RM Brown," and he can't understand what they were saying, so he kept saying Arun.
Oh, okay.
So now everyone calls me Arun.
I have to say there's an extra silliness on my end where I didn't realize that Lance was trying to say David as in David Dole, Arun is in waiting. I thought you were saying David Arun is waiting, and I was like, "Who's David Arun?"
David Arun. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Yeah, that's great.
That's I didn't know about that backstory. Can we anyone with the soundboard or imagine it in your brains get a Daddy Can Do No Wrong for David Pacman?
Yes, David can do no wrong. Daddy can do no wrong. Absolutely.
That lives in my head.
Generally speaking, every time I hear "generally speaking" now, you've ruined that for me. Chinese people look Chinese.
It's ruined. It's ruined.
Yes,
it's funny how often people use "generally speaking" too. It's like
yes,
yeah.
I never noticed it before. Now I notice it every time.
Terrible.
Before we go, we should let RM Brown plug his stuff, and if there's time, we should like play a little bit so
Totally.
people know it's so
Plug.
fucking good.
Oh,
Plug away,
thanks. That's so
RM.
nice.
It's what
Plug.
Jimmy Dore wishes he was in terms of comedy.
Well, hey, if we're going along on this train, you guys, I'm fans of all you guys. I've been fans of all you guys for a long time too. So I'm the newbie here. So thank you to all of you. What you guys.
Who's your favorite though? Who are you a bigger fan of?
I'm going Olay with that one for sure. All of you guys.
Now I love
male
you,
heavy.
RM. I love those.
Well
Yes, we have that in common. I like you.
Be careful though, RM. We know what Olay thinks about nice guys. Big fucking losers. The loserest people you've ever seen in your life.
Them niggas aren't nice. Didn't you hear me say that them hand don't like me like that? What you talking about? Like
I got really good grammar in my text messages. Everything's really good.
He would never misspell edible.
Yeah, that's true. He never would.
Never would.
Appreciates proper spelling.
I
Syntax.
like nice men. My problem is men stereotype me to be mean. Men always assume that I'm gonna be like a woman that has a lot of like and this and the men who like bad treatment like come after me. I'm real nice. Like I'm a real uplift you Leo energy bitch. Like if you're my friend, if you're my man, it's all love. It's all so it's not. You say something mean to me, and I'm like, all right, I gotta be gone. You're not nice to me.
What if they're really nice to you, but they just hold the opinion that Beyonce is overrated?
What if they don't like you? What if they don't like the You program?
That's fine. They can not like you, but I know that ass around for me can't think Beyonce. No, that's not a man with sense. Like my God wouldn't want me to father. Like the father of my children can't be a hater. So no. I see y'all asking in the comments if I'm doing Tea Time with Olay. Y'all tell me. I was going to not and do it next week and resume next week. If y'all really want me to do it in the comments, say it. I can do it, but I was going to resume next week because I felt like being lazy. So y'all tell me.
Here we go. Sorry, the whole time I've been looking for this clip that I saved from RM Brown's show. This is from June.
Oh boy, here we go.
But this is a clip that I.
Speaking of canceled, here we go.
I forget what's in this clip, but clearly I loved it because I cut it out and put it on Twitter. So there's a reason why I did that.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice.
Here we go. So this is a little taste of what RM Brown does.
Our basic entry course for teachers and for everyone is called Protector. It's Protector 1 course. And we shoot, we fight.
Yeah.
How to keep blood in the body. Tourniquets.
This is one of the dumber episodes of an already kind of garbage dump of misinformation program. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, not sorry. Pendejo. They get into the Uvalde shooting, and his solution, weird coincidence, is courses that he sells for $274.99 on his website. These are grade school teachers, and you're going to teach them to be the Expendables. Hey, barrel roll. They're gonna do the head, in movies where the guy dies from that. We're gonna teach them to do that. I think maybe people are talking about red flag laws. I think we need red flag laws for action movies. Hey, my husband's been watching Under Siege and Under Siege 2 on a loop over and over again. I think he's going to start suggesting things that make no sense. What's that? Yes, he is surrounded by treat wrappers. Yes. Let me look. Yep. At Charleston Chews. Empty Red Bulls.
And now a clip from my new course, John Claude Van Damme Prep for Kindergarten Teachers.
Okay, you mother. Welcome to my $250 program. Now, this is one of what we call your main resource tactics. You have a book, you're a teacher, you have a book, right? You got the head tilted. You got the head tilted this way. You got the book. You get. The book is going to go like. It's going to do a flare out formation. And the perpetrator is going to see some of those words. Maybe it's a Spanish book. He's like, oh, what's that say? Como te amas? And while he's looking at como te amas.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's always nice to hear the sound of your own voice. You never cringe at that.
Right.
I feel you. You edit your videos. You must hear it all the time.
Oh God. Torture. It's a nightmare every day. But yeah, thanks for playing that. That was really
good. So just search RM Brown on YouTube. You guys will find it.
Thank you. And thanks for having me. I want to come on here more. How often do you guys do this?
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Can I come back, or was this kind of a lackluster performance?
No, you're always welcome back, huh?
Well, no. That depends on the chat. Now, play the suspension music. Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun,
let's
dun.
do this
Mike,
democratic.
you have it. You love reality TV. Play the scary music right now.
Okay, I watched Big Brother Canada like 2 seasons. Okay, let's not characterize me as a reality television show watcher. Okay,
Mike loves all that. Mike loves all that garbage.
I would watch the TV shows. Like I feel like I could see Mike getting into I could watch black reality TV shows with Mike. I could feel it. I could feel it in my spirit, Mike.
It looks like I'm getting some positive reinforcement in the chat. So
I'm the type of person where if I see something, I can just watch it and veg out. Okay, I'll say that. Yes. But don't think I'm some sort of fucking reality TV show watcher. Okay,
I'm gonna tell you right now. I love reality TV. I love all things bird shit. Yes, I love it. I love all that low vibrational stupid shit. I love it. Give me all that.
You watch Big Brother, Olay?
No, but I did watch. I watched the clips of the season with New York on it.
Oh, okay. I didn't. See, I didn't watch the UK one. I only watched like the US and Canada.
I'm going to send you just like a compilation video of New York's best.
I love New York though. She's fucking hilarious.
Bro, when I said if you see the scene where she's like, somebody must have told her that she was fly and sexy, and she is nothing of the sort.
I saw that clip.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, it is.
Have you guys seen that clip? What is it, like a Flavor of Love reunion or I Love New York? We're talking about that New York, right?
Yep.
It's like the reunion where they're on stage and it's just a fight the whole time. It's one of the best.
The whole time.
She's just challenging everybody. She's like, you fight.
Yes.
You can,
Yes, Tiffany Pollard, Kelsey.
That is the reunion for Flavor of Love season 2. Yes, please understand. I have seen.
I only saw season 1.
Every show that Tiffany Pollard done. Flavor, all the Flavor Laws, all the I Love New York. Tiffany Pollard takes takes Hollywood, all of it. That I watched it. Tiffany, the one she do on VH1 with the interviews, all of it.
I know.
I've sat down and just watched YouTube videos. Like back when the autoplay feature was better and the algorithm wasn't broken. There was one night where I just sat down for like 4 hours watching Tiffany Pollard videos. Just like clips after clips and like remixes of when that girl, I forgot her name, Pumpkin, I think spit in her eye. And like remixes to that just over and over. Like she's fucking hilarious.
Well, I think people think of her as just a bad guy, but she has a remarkable amount of confidence to just go after. Like there's no self-doubt with New York. She's just like, I'm right, you're wrong.
She's an anti-hero, totally.
Yeah,
like
no one thinks she's a bad guy. It's funny, but she's the queen of reality TV. We love her, and the best part is, nobody. She literally, there was no casting agent or found her, and she walked in off the street into the casting call. Like, nobody knew her or anything, and she just
a star, born a star.
A star.
And her mom is also a star too.
Yes.
Like her mom is part of this whole universe, and she is almost as like good as Tiffany herself.
Patterson is amazing.
All right, well,
so I put in my thing. Put in my I put it in our DMs. All my want to plug is my episode of the Daily Zeitgeist that dropped today, and my Instagram page, Making Make Sense. Y'all should follow where I debunk laws, all these videos I'm doing on cop city and felony murder, and all the information and infographics and things I've been putting out on all things content. You should follow that page. Y'all can take links for me and put it in the chat for me. Y'all can tell I can't do it. It's in our DMs. David, you do that?
Oh, DMs. Yeah. Was it in the chat?
Yes.
I'll find it.
Well, y'all, maybe I'll see you next Thursday if you'll have me back. All right.
Yes.
Anytime you want.
Bye.
Sounds good. Yep. Take care.
Thanks for dropping by.
All right, guys. I guess this is where we all
There's
say
a
goodbye
link.
to, right? Yeah.
I've shared the link.
I love Thursdays.
Yes.
They're fun and funny, and
Thursdays
they
are
make me
very
feel
fun.
better.
And remember, y'all should tweet at us with shows y'all think we should watch.
Oh yeah, because I don't like. I feel like if we pick, we're just gonna like pick something bad. Like it has to be audience curated.
Yeah. Yeah, pick something. Y'all pick something, so it's something y'all won't complain that we're talking about. Something y'all are watching too.
I will veto the fucking what is that show that everyone is watching right now with Kevin Costner?
What's that? I didn't know Kevin Costner was a show, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's an old white man. I think it's fine.
Yellow
Costner. I'm gonna vote in his favor.
How old is he?
Yellowstone.
Listen, he's fine as hell. Kevin Costner been fine all his life.
He's been around forever. Like he was big in the 90s. Now he's like, I guess he's doing more stuff.
I love him in Robin Hood because he's the only person who like he doesn't have an accent. He's just like he was that big of a movie star at that period where it's like every other character is doing a British accent, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And it's like that's going to be really weird because you're the only person with an American accent taking place in the story where everyone should be speaking with a British accent, but we can't do anything about it because you're Kevin Costner. So let's make the movie. Let's do this shit. Let's have the whole thing. And he's the only character with an American accent the whole time. It's like, and say, should you walk through the door? He's like, yes, yeah, I'll do that right now. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, no, the Prince of Nottingham. I see. Like that's wild.
Dexter.
You don't see that anymore. You know.
Can it be an old show? Shouldn't it be a new show? Because someone said Dexter. Because I feel like y'all have all watched Dexter, right?
Yeah.
I've seen Dexter. Yeah, I've seen it all.
Oh yeah, Dexter's Lab's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you mean Dexter the serial killer? Oh yeah, that show's good until this the last 2 seasons, and then the last season is garbage. Unwatchable. No, I'm betrayed. I want my legs back.
That show peaks in season 4, and then it's just kind of downhill.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Dexter? I'm so surprised by that, Bender.
Wow. The reboot was very,
why?
not a reboot, but the New Blood was very good. The last season that they did.
You give off a you like serial killer shows vibe.
I'm not a big TV person, actually. I think people think I am, but I'm just I'm not.
You're
big
more
TV
of a gamer,
watcher.
right? No,
no,
you're
not even. No. I watch a lot of movies. Not really a TV person.
Severance is amazing. I agree, Chad. Severance is very, very good. If you
Severance
haven't watched
is
Severance,
good.
watch it. Severance
That's
is unreal.
really good.
If you ever want, what's wrong with
Riches?
capitalism?
Oh yeah, I know. Severance is fantastic.
Yeah,
Riches
Severance is
on
amazing.
Amazon Prime. Riches is so good.
Riches.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
What about I've heard really good things about Succession.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, fantastic, amazing.
Succession, but
Okay,
Can get
It's
into it.
amazing.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wasn't against it, but the person I was watching it with wasn't interested, so that's why I didn't finish. I watch all the Powers. I'm actually my good friend is Uncle Lulu on Raising Kanan, Malcolm Mays. I love the Powers. So yes, I'm reading the comments. Y'all know I'd be in the chat.
So how are we going to do this? Like, is it one episode per week?
I
Kinda
feel like
a book club where we come back and
I feel like we gotta all be like up to. Wait, you know what? Y'all could go. Have y'all? Did y'all watch the new show Bel Air? Like the new.
No, I haven't seen it actually. The reboot. I haven't seen it.
It's actually amazing. Like I was really shocked.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it was like they did it a whole like a.
How
drama.
far are you though?
It's so good. Well, there's only one season that's out so far. I haven't started the second season, but I'm saying we could start that. We could watch that together and start from.
I could catch up.
Okay,
I feel like
I'm caught up on Abbott Elementary. It was darling. It's really cute.
See? Abbott is great. Yes. I'm for Bel Air. What do y'all think about that in the audience? Shameless was good, but Shameless is mad.
How long are the episodes?
Yeah.
Shameless is so long.
That's what I
It's the
said.
same
It's
problems over and over and over and over, both like the British and the American show.
Yeah, Shameless. I will say though that Lip Gallagher is, when I first started watching Shameless, when on the first episode, I was like, this is the ugliest person I ever did see. And now I'm like, and then I don't know when it turned, but I was like, this man is so fucking fine. It's crazy how fine.
Is he the chef guy? If he's the guy from Chef, I agree. Yeah, I don't know when it flips, but I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I
totally
was
agree
like,
with you.
he's so ugly, and then he was suddenly
Yeah.
so fine.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. The bear, thank you. The bear. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that. Yeah, I agree.
He fine as
You
hell.
know what would be a really fun episode, like kind of a non-political episode? Have you ever heard of the game What the Dub? It's kind of like the Jackbox games, but basically they play old movie clips, and then you sign in on your phone, and then you basically get to choose what you want to say, and then you vote on like the funniest ones. That could be a fun like extra stream or like a non-political stream for us. That one's pretty fun because we got to have like a game night at some point, right?
I agree.
Yeah, I'm all.
Let's
for
figure it
it
out over DMs because I gotta get out of here.
Like I have to go to
Okay, fair
bed.
enough.
I can't.
All right, fair enough.
Bye, all.
Bye.
I like it. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
All right, exit. Bye.
I gotta read super chats, guys. Right. Let's man, I gotta start being like, you know what? An hour from when I want to actually make sure I get out of the stream, I gotta be like, you know what? It's time to start wrapping up. And then once we get around to it an hour later, it'll be the proper time. But let me grab some chats here. Raise my 21st. Sorry. Man, it's my brain is mush that I can't even read these names. Here we go. Beta Quest says, "Raise my 21st Century Blues is best pop album." Adrian says, "Does Olay have her own YouTube channel?" She said on the stream that they were going to launch one. Her and her partner. Mike's beard is Marxist beard. Nick Mower says the wind burned her a little bit in the pool. The wind burned her a little bit. I remember that. Infinite Content says, Olay, Mike Lance warned Binder about making cancel Beyonce comments. Black Twitter will come for you for saying stuff like that. Parker says, I can't believe y'all are still live. Olay rocks. Chris Flush says, thank you all. I've been listening, Mike and David. I would love to. For a second, I thought, am I muted? Like a moment where it's like, was I muted? I'm not muted. I've been listening, Mike and David. I would like to see you invite Bo of the Fifth Column to the show. I feel like he's too big for us. Every one of his videos do like amazingly well. Nick is back, says induct RM into the Mafia as a full-time gangsta. Jar says thanks y'all. Dr. Dore signing out. And there we go. Thank you all for coming, having a great time, and being here until I fell asleep on stream. Thank you all. See you later. Goodbye.